image of that era. Today, it's the Rams of Los Angeles, smartly adorned with their signature horns on the helmet, hosting their foes from the north, the 49ers of San Francisco. It will be the 90th battle between these two squads on this NFL Throwback Weekend. Hello, everybody. With Tim Green, I'm Joe Buck. And Tim, the teams may dress in 40-year-old uniforms, but the story today, the new faces with San Francisco. The World Tour has ended, and Deion Sanders has joined the 49ers.
That's right. We'll see Deion Sanders today, not as a starter, but he will come in as a fifth defensive back on passing downs, and hey, maybe we'll even see him return a kick.
Ricky Jackson, signed before the season, makes his first start today, replacing the injured Richard Dent.
You know, Ricky Jackson has played his entire 14-year career rushing the quarterback from the left side of the defense. It's going to be a big adjustment for him today to rush from the right.
And Charles Mann, the former Redskin, took the pen right out of the hand of Deion Sanders and signed on to back up Ricky Jackson at defensive end. That defense will be met and challenged today by Jerome Bettis.
And Jerome Bettis is definitely on track. He rushed for over 100 yards last week, and he's the heart and soul of this Rams offense.
And a rejuvenated Flipper Anderson.
Yeah, he looks like his old self, and he's just what Chris Miller needs. Miller has an accurate deep ball, and the Miller to Anderson connection is going to be critical to counter what everyone knows is a high-scoring 49er offense.
It should be a highly entertaining afternoon here in Anaheim. A beautiful day, 82 degrees. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Just a beautiful day, and we hope to have a fun one for you this afternoon, an NFL Throwback Weekend. The Rams and the 49ers. Dexter Carter back deep as the 49ers will receive, and Tony Zendejas gets ready to kick it away. Rams come into this game with a record of 1-1. Same for the 49ers coming off their loss at Kansas City, and here we go. Dexter Carter from just outside his 5. Big return out near the 40, across the 35, brought down at the 37 by Todd Light. Give you a look at Steve Young as the 49er offense heads to the field. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Hard to remember those days, not only for us, but for Steve Young. The starting lineup's brought to you by Zima. Here's the big question for the 49ers, their offensive line. The protection, Wallace Dahlman, Bart Oates, Derek Deese, and Harry Boatswain. Then Waters and Logan in the backfield with John Taylor, Jerry Rice. The tight end is Brent Jones. With Rice in motion on first down, Young a little play action. Jerry Rice brought out just before he got 10. He picked up 9. Todd Light ran him out of bounds, and we give you a look at the Los Angeles defense. They are strongest up front with Stokes, Gilbert, Jimmy Jones, and Robert Young. The linebackers, 3 of them. Conlon in the middle, the former Bill, with Pfeiffer to his outside along with Joe Kelly. And the secondary, Steve Israel, Anthony Newman, Marquez Pope, and Todd Light. Already we've seen a change. Israel out, and Darrell Henley is starting in place of Israel. Waters picks up the first down. He got 3, and the 49ers have a first down in Los Angeles territory. Darrell Henley makes the start in place of Steve Israel, under indictment on a federal charge of drug trafficking. But he is available, playing today and starting today in place of Steve Israel, who had a rough day last Sunday at Atlanta.
Well, he had a rough day, Joe, and a bad knee, and they've deactivated him for this game.
Logan and Waters in the backfield. That's Ricky Waters in motion. Complete Rice first down. It's just that easy for these two, Young and Rice.
First matchup today, Henley against Rice. I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
Rice got 11 last week at Kansas City. 6 catches, averaged better than 10 yards a catch, and another first down for the 49ers. Inside the 40-yard line. Rice and Taylor out wide to the left. This is Waters. Trying to get outside, could not. Kelly there, Shane Conlon there, and he lost 2.
Nice job by the Rams defense and great pursuit by the Rams linebackers. Watch him here. Kelly, number 52, and Conlon, 56. Henry Rowland getting upfield, forcing Waters to the outside. And then you see 3 of the Rams linebackers making the play.
So a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Opening possession of the afternoon for the 49ers. 3 wideouts into the game. That's Taylor in motion. Over the middle, Taylor wide open. 1st down, San Francisco. John Taylor with his first catch of the day. He picked up 14 and got the 1st down.
Joe, George Dyer, the Rams defensive coordinator, told us they need push up front. You watch him here, and you see Jimmy Jones, Sean Gilbert in the middle. They're not getting into Steve Young's face, and they're allowing him to throw the ball in that middle area of the field. That's something the Rams want to take away.
Mark Logan checks out. The rookie William Floyd out of Florida State, blocking for Ricky Waters. He got 5. Joe Kelly brought him down. Ricky Waters, you talk to these Rams defensive players and their defensive coordinator George Dyer, they tend to get a little white and start to sweat when you talk about Ricky Waters and trying to bring him down. He's shifty.
Well, I think everybody does. Not only does he have great moves, but he's strong. He's got a strong upper body, and he likes to use that stiff arm. We'll see that stiff arm today.
2nd down and 5. Complete. Taylor just outside the 5, and another 49er 1st down.
You know, the Rams did a good job of getting heat on Steve Young, getting pressure in his face as he throws the ball. Just before he throws the ball, watch him here. Watch Robert Young coming right up in Young's face, but not there soon enough before Young gets the ball off.
A pickup of 16 yards. Steve Young, a nightmare for George Dyer. 4 for 4 for 50 yards on the opening drive. Waters in motion. 1st carry for Logan. Big hit by Conlon, but he got 2.
That's the mark of a great fullback. You get hit on the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage by a big tough linebacker like Shane Conlon, but you keep going. You churn, you find another hole, you go the other way, and you pick up yardage.
This opening drive by the 49ers started on their own 37. They're now 2nd down and goal from the 3. Brent Jones lines up wide, now goes in motion. Taylor, touchdown. A one-handed catch, John Taylor. Darrell Henley beaten on the play. Young was perfect in the air on the opening drive.
Well, he was. I mean, picture perfect drive for the 49ers, driving the ball down the field, running it, throwing it, and putting it into the end zone.
After a frustrating weekend last weekend in Kansas City, the 49ers marched right down the field, put it into the end zone, and now Doug Bryan on for the extra point, with the punter Klaus Wilmsmeyer holding. Extra point is good, and the 49ers, how many broadcasters have said this weekend after weekend? They make it look easy.
They really do. You know, the Rams on this last play, they sent Marquez Pope, they sent the linebacker Shane Conlon, so they're on a blitz. Steve Young just rolls out and drops the ball out there to Taylor, again making it look easy.
Hanley beaten on the play, and Steve Young a perfect 5 for 5 on the opening drive. That touchdown pass, the 100th of Steve Young's San Francisco career. We talked to him yesterday. He wasn't even aware that if he threw a touchdown pass today, he'd be part of history.
That's right. He's one of only 3 49er quarterbacks. But, you know, that's the kind of guy Steve Young is. I mean, he's a down-to-earth guy, not a lot of pretensions, very, very kind of just simple and nice. And, you know, I don't think that he gets as excited about the things he does as other people do.
There were 3. Now there are 4 San Francisco quarterbacks who have thrown 100 or more touchdown passes And when you talk about Montana on that list, you now have to talk about Steve Young. Doug Bryan getting ready to kick it away. 7-0. San Francisco out in front with 10:26 remaining in the first quarter. Brantley from inside his 10. Gets outside. Big yards. Out past the 40. No flags on the play. Big return for Brantley, and Chris Miller leads the offense out to the field after a 33-yard return by Brantley. He's protected by Clarence Jones, Tom Newberry, Vern Brostek, Leo Goes, and Jackie Slater, 40 years old. The backfield, Jerome Bettis and Tim Lester. The wideouts, Hester and Flipper Anderson. The tight end, Troy Drayton, who has yet to catch a pass this season. First down, Los Angeles after the strong return outside their own 40. Bettis picked up 8. The defense that will try to stop Jerome Bettis and the Rams today. Up front, Ricky Jackson making the start. He's joined by Dana Stubblefield, Bryant Young, and Dennis Brown. The linebackers, Gary Plummer in the middle with Woodall and Ken Norton outside of him. And there's the secondary, Merton Hanks, Tim McDonald, Dana Hall, Eric Davis. We will see Deion Sanders this afternoon in the nickel package. Second down and 2. Bettis, first down. Into 49er territory. He picked up 5. Brought down by the free safety, Dana Hall.
The Rams just starting out doing exactly what they want to do today, which is to control the football, to run Jerome Bettis, and to work their way down the field. You know, we spoke to Leo Goes, the Rams right guard, yesterday, and he said, if we just get a body on a body, Jerome Bettis will get at least 5 yards.
He did on that last play and picked up a first down from the 46 of San Francisco. Bettis checks out the left side, and he finds more yards there. He picked up 4.
There's 2 things Bettis likes to do. One, he likes to run the lead right up the middle, and the other play he likes is the toss outside. They like him on the toss. He's averaged as much as 8.8 yards when he gets the ball going on the outside.
Second down for Los Angeles. They need 6 for a first down. 7-0. San Francisco out in front. Bettis, nothing. Just did get back to the line of scrimmage, brought down by Dennis Brown, 5th-year player who played at Washington. Here comes Deion Sanders. Checks into the game for the first time as a 49er. And the 49ers fans here in attendance love it. We welcome those of you who are watching the Packers and the Eagles. You checked in at the perfect time. Deion Sanders into the game for the first time. Nickel package. 3rd and 6. 4 wideouts into the game, and Miller finds Bailey. First down, Rams. If you just joined us, this was the first score by the 49ers. A 9-play drive covering 62 yards. It took only 4.5 minutes, and Taylor pulled it in with one hand. A 3-yard touchdown pass from Steve Young. The 49ers leading 7-0, but the Rams are moving the football.
That's right. The Rams offense answering the call and moving the ball right back down the field. Running with Bettis, and a nice 3rd down conversion by Chris Miller.
1st and 10 Rams. Little play action. Going for the end zone, nearly picked off. And a flag flies on the play. Flipper Anderson, the intended receiver. 2 defenders there. Eric Davis was there from the corner. He was joined by the safety, and the referees talk it over.
And if it is pass interference in the end zone, the ball's going to come out to the 1-yard line. The Rams will have it on the 1. You watch him here, and Eric Davis just gets his hand on Flipper and pushes him before the ball gets down there. So it's a good call by the officials.
Dick Hantak looking sharp in his 50s referee hat. Chuck Knox didn't opt for that. Well, he's back with a 90s version.
They're in that throwback spirit.
So 1st and goal from the 1.
You remember, Joe, last week the Rams were 1st and goal from the 1, and they didn't get it in. Big series for the Rams.
Play action. Touchdown, Drayton. His first catch of the year, and the Rams move it right down the field, but a flag on the play. This may be coming back, a flag on the play. How about Drayton?
Well, you know, Drayton said he hasn't gotten a ball in the first 2 games, and he wanted to get it.
Illegal substitution on the offense. Number 70 did not report. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 1st down.
What happened, Joe? Wayne Gandy, their backup left tackle, came in to play tight end. If he's on the line at the end of the line, he's an eligible receiver. He must report to the officials, and the officials have to call it to the 49ers.
Gandy checks out. We've talked to Chuck Knox the last 2 weekends. The first thing he talks about are penalties on offense, how they have killed the Rams. They averaged 10 penalties on offense the first 2 games, and that one cost them a touchdown for the moment. 1st and goal now from just outside the 5. Bettis down to the 3.
Don't forget, Joe, a week ago, the Rams in the same situation in Atlanta. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. They ran Bettis 3 times. He couldn't get it in. They went for a field goal. Chris Chandler fumbled the snap. The Rams came away with no points. The Rams need to score on this series right here.
2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line, just inside the 4. '49ers showing blitz, and here they come. Rams pick it up. Drayton, flag on the play.
I think that's going to be a touchdown, Joe.
The officials have yet to make the call. Neither official put up the arms, and they'll talk it over.
You know, whatever happens on this play, it's an impressive catch by Troy Drayton.
Interference on the defense. Number 51. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
What an impressive drive by the Rams, and Drayton, who had one taken away, ends up with a touchdown catch.
And this catch was even more impressive than his first. His first, he was wide open, and the ball was right in there. This one, he's got the linebacker pushing and shoving on him. He gets off the play and still makes a great catch.
Ken Norton all over him. Drayton makes the catch, and after the 49ers took their first possession down the field, the Rams with a chance to tie. Zendejas puts it through, and we are tied at 7. The 49ers score. The Rams answer. 6:05 left first quarter, tied at 7. It's a throwback weekend in the National Football League, and the Rams playing like they did when they wore these uniforms the first time back in the 50s. Answer the score by the 49ers, and Zendejas kicks it to Carter. Another big return outside the 45-yard line. Dexter Carter brought down by Todd Light. A lot of action in the early going in Anaheim. The 49ers have it again, tied at 7. 2 weeks of frustration just ended for the second-year player Troy Drayton with the touchdown catch.
And when you talk about concentration that a receiver needs, watch Troy Drayton on this play. Ken Norton gets his hand right in his face, and he still watches that ball in, catches it, scores the touchdown.
Penalty was on Norton. It was declined, and the Rams have tied the 49ers at 7. Play action. Young airs it out for Taylor. Caught. John Taylor inside the 20. And again, working on Darrell Henley. With help from Newman, it's just not enough.
And again, the Rams, Robert Young, number 76, getting pressure on Steve Young. But watch him here, coming underneath Harry Boatswain, getting in Young's face, but not soon enough.
35-yard pickup, and Young had some time to throw.
Absolutely. Good protection by a 49er offensive line that a lot of people have questioned.
That's Chris Dahlman, second-year player who played at Stanford. Waters cuts it up. Waters picked up 4, maybe 5.
You know, this is the first start for Chris Dahlman at left guard for the 49ers, and a lot of people wondered whether or not he would be able to hold up today, especially playing across from Sean Gilbert, the all-pro tackle for the Rams.
That has got to be the major focus today, the defensive line for the Rams. And this banged up offensive line for the 49ers, 2nd and 5. Over the middle, wide open, a flag on the play, touchdown Taylor. His 2nd of the day, but a flag on the play. Great block downfield by Brent Jones. Will check the flag, and the Rams are clapping as Conlon's a bit banged up. This may be coming back. This is coming back. Shane Conlon, who was deactivated last week for the game in Atlanta, is a major part of the middle of this Rams defense.
Well, he really is. He's the signal caller. He's the general on the field out there.
Dick Hantak getting ready to give us the call. This obviously is coming back as they still pay attention to Shane Conlon.
Offensive pass interference, number 32, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 2nd down.
They flag Ricky Waters. An offensive pass interference call.
Watch Waters on this play coming out of the backfield. You won't see him here, but not right until the end of the play. And John Taylor doing what he does, catching the ball and then cutting right across the grain for the touchdown, which is called back.
It's called back. Taylor had picked up the extra yardage thanks to a great block by Brent Jones, who shielded the entire right side of the field, but Waters, with a penalty, will bring it back, and the 49ers have the ball outside their 20, and that's where they set up on 2nd down.
You know, that won't be the last time we hear Brent Jones's name today. Blocking, he blocks, he catches touchdown passes, he does a lot of things for this 49er offense.
2nd down and 15. 6 defensive backs into the game for the Rams, and the 49ers keep it on the ground. Waters picked up 5.
Nice blocking by the 49ers line, sending their backside players, their backside linemen. You saw Derek Deese getting out there, getting a nice hit on Stokes and keeping the ball moving up the sideline.
Third down and 10. Singleton in motion, and Young to put it up. Looking for Taylor, a flag on the play. The pass incomplete. Robert Bailey talking it over with John Taylor, and again a flag on the play, and this will be against the 49ers.
The Rams gambling with the blitz, sending Bailey right up the middle to get the pressure in Steve Young's face.
You know, this is an interesting decision here for the Rams. They stopped him on 3rd and 10. It would bring up 4th down. Do they take that?
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
They will take the penalty and give the 49ers another shot.
Watch number 63, Derek Deese, just tackling Bailey right there, gets his arms right around him and brings him down. You know, when a guy is coming through the line like that and he's going to hit your quarterback, I think as an offensive lineman, you have to do anything you can to stop him. I mean, Steve Young took a lot of heat last week. He took a lot of hits, and you don't want to let him take any more.
Just hope you don't get caught. 3rd down and 20, just inside the 30. Waters underneath, not enough for the first down. Just outside the 15, Roman Pfeiffer brought him down from the Rams linebacking core.
The Rams working with what they call a prevent defense on that play. Only 3 defensive linemen rushing the passer. Everyone else dropping back in coverage. Really giving the 49ers the underneath routes, but not giving up the first down or the touchdown.
34-yard field goal attempt by Doug Bryant. Into the wind just a bit. And the rookie is perfect. The 49ers regain the lead on their second possession. Steve Young, folks, 7 out of 7 for 100 yards in the first quarter. We're in the mood. We hope you're in the mood, too. We're in the 1950s, or at least that's how the uniforms look. A throwback weekend, but so far, Steve Young is throwing forward for 100 yards, 7 out of 7, 2 possessions, 2 scores, and the 49ers lead by 3. Chris Brandley from his 10. Again, able to get outside, but wrapped up. Nate Singleton, a backup wideout, over there to bring down Brandley. A 12-yard return, and here comes Jerome Bettis. He dominates this offense for the Rams.
Yeah, he really does, Joe. And they love to have him run the ball. They love to put the ball in his hands.
Offensive touches, 47. The rest of the talent players pale in comparison. In fact, there have been only 2 carries by other running backs for the Rams than Jerome Bettis. First down for Los Angeles from just outside their 20. Griffith out of the backfield, first down Rams. Howard Griffith. We knew there would be more of Howard Griffith in this game because of that exact reason. He's a better pass receiver.
You know, the Rams play action with Jerome Bettis, making the 49ers think that it's the run play. You see him barreling into the line, and then Chris Miller just rolling out, and it frees up everything. That loosens up the pass game when you fake the run with Jerome Bettis.
First down, Los Angeles. 2 tight ends check into the game, Drayton and Middleton.
Round 99.
And before the play gets going, flags fly. A hard snap count by Miller. Ricky Jackson over on that side of the field working on Slater, who moved first.
That's right, Jackie Slater benefiting from the new neutral zone infraction rule on that play.
He'll play for another 18, 19 years probably.
He just might.
Neutral zone violation on the defense. Number 57 in the neutral zone, causing the offensive team to move prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Once again, and you know, we've heard a lot of talk about it so far this season, but that neutral zone infraction allowing the offensive player to move if the defensive guy gets into that dead zone there around the football.
San Francisco so far has been penalized 4 times for 50 yards. Cost them a touchdown on their last possession. 1st and 5, Los Angeles. Bettis finds a hole and finds a first down. He can run over you, or he can find that hole with those good, quick feet.
He really does. And, you know, when you talk about Ricky Jackson being in a new position. Watch him at the bottom of the screen, 57. He finds a hole, he gets up in there, but Bettis cuts it back away from him, and he doesn't make that play. You have to wonder how playing on the opposite side of the field all day is going to affect Ricky Jackson.
Now he switches back over to the left side on 1st and 10. Underneath, Drayton sheds a tackle. He left Norton back at the 41 and picked up an extra 5 yards. He got 6 on the play.
This is a wonderful play by Troy Drayton. You know, he sees Norton coming, and he just throws that big arm out there, almost like a left hook. Watch him here. He sees Norton coming. He knows he's going to get hit. He throws the right, throws it right around, throws Norton off, and keeps going. That's a great football play, and that's what you like to see your tight end do. You like to see him get out there, catch the ball, and then go for more yardage.
Troy Drayton 2. Ken Norton nothing. Drayton caught the touchdown pass earlier over Norton. Dennis Brown wrapped up Bettis. He got 2 and came up short of the first down.
And Dennis Brown now on the right side of the field. They moved Ricky Jackson, as you said, back to the left side where he has played for so many years.
The Rams bring in an extra tight end, which is the rookie tackle, Wayne Gandy. He has reported this time, which he didn't do on the Rams' first possession, and there's Gandy playing at a tight end spot, but he is eligible on 3rd and 2.
That's right. Well, you like to bring a big guy in like that to play tight end on short yardage.
Toss to Bettis. Big blocking up front. First down Rams, and out of bounds at the 40.
That play is exactly what Jerome Bettis loves to see. He loves to get himself out there, out on the edge, and the Rams line, watch him here, all kind of just shifting out there to the right, getting a body on a body, just as Leo Goes said. You see Goes getting his body on Plummer there, and it allows Bettis to kind of pick his spot. He looks for the soft spot, he looks for the weak spot, and wham, there he goes.
A classic Chuck Knox offense. Jerome Bettis, 8 carries, 35 yards. And Chuck Knox has said, of all the backs he has had, Jerome Bettis is the most talented. That's the end of the first quarter with the score: San Francisco 10, the Los Angeles Rams 7.
You want to know about...
At the start of the second quarter, the 49ers have had the ball twice. They've scored twice. The Rams have had the ball once. They scored a touchdown on a pass to Drayton. Now they're on the move again, just outside the 49ers 40. The 1955 49ers had football's first Hall of Fame backfield. Y.A. Tittle called the signals. When he wasn't passing, Tittle had the pleasure of handing off to Joe the Jet Perry and the King, Hugh McElhaney. Those three, along with John Henry Johnson, formed San Francisco's legendary $1 million backfield. And those were the uniforms, and they're racking up $1 million defense and then some. They're putting together almost an NFC All-Star team on their defense from a couple of years ago.
Well, they are, and it's not a big deal to have $1 million backfield anymore. You know, your players are multi-million-dollar guys themselves.
Griffith in the backfield. Fake reverse, and Miller airs it out. Griffith overthrown.
Chris Miller told us yesterday that he was going to throw the balls deep. He said he wanted his receivers to catch the ball or no one. He didn't want any underthrown passes and interceptions because of it. Watch Flipper Anderson here drawing a double team from the San Francisco defense. He is their deep threat.
They shut him down, and the Rams will have to find another avenue. Both Davis and Dana Hall covering up Flipper. Second down and 10. Bettis, big hole over the middle. Brought down right at the 30. He got 10. And that is good enough for a first down.
Watch the block by number 66, Tom Newberry. You're going to see him right here. Blocking Ken Norton, just knocking him right out of the way, opening up a huge hole in the middle for Jerome Bettis. You know, Tom Newberry didn't start the season as a starter. They had Keith Loneker in there. He's a big 330-pounder. Newberry, he's a little light at 285, but boy, he really got the job done on that play.
Back last week when the Rams were playing in Atlanta, the running game turned around when Newberry came into the game. Bettis picked up a couple over the middle. Ken Norton brought him down.
That's right. Ken Norton answered the call on that play and filling up in there and doing a nice job of filling that run lane.
There's Ken, former Dallas Cowboy. Jump ship, and he's now with the 49ers.
You know, a lot of people say that the 49ers, not only did they want to bring Ken Norton in to be their linebacker, they wanted to take him away from the Dallas Cowboys.
2nd down and 8, 2 tight ends into the game, and the whistle blows before we start the play. And the Rams have called their first timeout here in the first half. The Rams are moving the football. They trail the 49ers by 3. 1.5 minutes left to play first half. Hey, strike or no strike, tonight Fox is taking you out to the ball game with a new major league team. The Pioneers, the most outrageous group of goofballs, screwballs, and oddballs ever to wear a uniform. Catch an all-new episode of Hardball tonight, right after The Simpsons. 2nd down and 8. Wide open on that side of the field is Drayton. Out of bounds inside the 10. Roll to the right, screen pass to the left.
Chris Miller told us yesterday that the Rams were going to run some shock plays. He said he felt like, and the Rams felt like, they need to put big plays against the 49ers to counter what they do. Watch Chris Miller here faking the toss to Bettis. Everybody in the stadium going to the left side, and Chris Miller throwing back to the right side. This is a shock play. I mean, because everybody was shocked by it. Nobody thought that Drayton was going to be sitting back there and catching the ball.
Lester and Bettis in the backfield on 1st and goal from the 9. Bettis, big stick up front by the rookie from Notre Dame, Bryant Young.
Bryant Young, the 1st-round draft choice, number 7th pick in the whole draft. I mean, the 49ers feel like this guy is a guy who has a talent to be a defensive great. An interior lineman like Dana Stubblefield, who they picked 1st round in the '93 draft. Last year, Stubblefield, 10.5 sacks, NFL Defensive Player Rookie of the year.
Not this week will you see Deion Sanders in this area. Short yardage, 2nd down and goal. Bruce out of bounds. Isaac Bruce covered very well by Eric Davis.
You know, speaking of baseball, Joe, you notice that the game now is down in the infield, and now that the season's been called off, they're going to replace it with grass. But right now, these guys are playing on dirt, on that hard dirt, and it's like concrete. Nobody likes it. See those big spikes those guys have had? Those spikes don't do anything for you when you're on dirt except make you slip.
3rd and goal, and 4 wide receivers in for the Rams. Bailey in the backfield with Miller. No flag on the play. Toy Cook there with the coverage. The intended receiver, the rookie, Chris Brantley, and Cook was all over him.
Nice coverage by Cook, and also Deion Sanders over on that side of the field. And if you notice, watch Flipper Anderson, number 83. Here, watch him right here with Deion on the coverage. Flipper says, hey, I'm not even going to go anywhere. He just stays on the line to keep Deion close to him and give the Rams a chance for the touchdown pass.
The Ram fans here at Anaheim complain there was no pass interference call. A 26-yard field goal attempt to tie by Tony Zendejas. Low snap, well handled by Chandler, and the kick is good. Great work by Toy Cook. He keeps the Rams out of the end zone. The game is tied at 10. Last season, 1993, the Rams and 49ers got together 2 times. They were swept. A combined score of 75-27. Their problems, a lot of them, given to them by Rice and Taylor. 24 catches, 469 yards combined, and 4 touchdowns. Today, Taylor's caught a touchdown pass, and Jerry Rice 2 passes for 20 yards.
You know, not only are these guys both dangerous, Joe, you don't know where they are on the field. George Dyer, the defense coordinator for the Rams, said they'll line up in the backfield, they'll line up split, they'll line up wide. You never know where they're going to be.
He said you need a compass to find these guys when you come to the line of scrimmage. Young tried to get it to his tight end, Brent Jones, and a flag on the play. We'll check the flag after the incomplete pass to Brent Jones. This one against the Rams. Defensive holding and an automatic first down coming up for San Francisco.
Holding. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And we see yet another mental mistake and another penalty against the Rams.
Penalties have been a problem for this Rams team, to the point that Chuck Knox has hired a couple of ex-NFL officials to come in and officiate their practices during the middle of the week. 1st and 10, and Young finds Rice. Ridden out of bounds at the 39 right now. For a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Joe, a former L.A. Ram helping the Washington Redskins. John Freese finds a 3rd option, Henry Ellard, for the score, and it is all tied at 10 apiece. That in the 2nd. Let's go back to the Rams game. Joe and Tim.
How do you like those uniforms?
I was just going to say, it looked like USC to me.
A 10-10 game, 11-23 and counting left in the first half. 2nd and 4. Waters a first down. Brought down at the 48-yard line.
Boy, Waters hits that hole fast, doesn't he, Joe? I mean, he gets the ball, zip, there he goes through the hole, and, he's in your backfield before you know it.
Now Steve Wallace is down and injured. Yeah. Let's take a look at this last play.
Watch Chris Dahlman, 67, with a nice block there on Jimmy Jones, opening up the hole. Chris Dahlman really answering the call. His first start in the NFL. A lot of people questioned whether or not he was going to be able to handle the pass blocking. And not only do we see him handle the pass blocking against Sean Gilbert, we see him handle the run blocking.
George Seifert cringing, seeing yet another one of his 2 remaining veteran offensive linemen limp out of the game. They're already without Sapolu, Ralph Tam, Harris Barton. Now, at least for the moment, add Pro Bowler Steve Wallace to the list.
And Wallace, not a tremendous force on that offensive line. And Bob McKittrick, the offensive line coach for the 49ers, yesterday told us he's never lost 3 starters before. Now he's lost 4. It's really incredible. And they considered whether or not to go in this game with 7 offensive linemen or 8 offensive linemen, and George Seifert asked Bob McKittrick, he said, well, what should I do? Do you need 7 or do you need 8? And Bob McKittrick said, well, as long as nobody gets hurt, I can go with 7.
Frank Pollock replaces the injured Wallace, and that offensive line is getting thin. They signed Rod Milstead. He is inactive for this game. So backing up, they are left with Brian Bollinger. That is it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's scary. 1st and 10 for the 49ers. The defensive line for the Rams has got to get some pressure on Young. You get pressure on him, that's what he can do. Brought down from behind by Stokes and Young.
Really great pursuit by Fred Stokes, and that's what Steve Young does when he scrambles. He makes those defensive linemen work. He makes them run around. But, I think you're better off having Steve Young scramble and run around than you are having him sit back there in the pocket and completing the pass. Watch Stokes here. Just great effort to catch up to Steve Young and just clip his ankles out from under him and make the play.
He told us he's doing less and less of that, which he hopes will add some years to his career. Keep him a little healthier. Big stop by the Rams. William Floyd, the rookie from Florida State, picked up nothing, and that'll bring up third down.
You know, when you talk about run stopping, watch it here. Watch Jimmy Jones coming through the line. That is run stopping right there. Gets his head and his shoulders up underneath the ball carrier and stops him in his tracks. And then, of course, you see Robert Young, 76, cleaning up on the play.
Third down for the 49ers. 2 to go. Young, first down, San Francisco.
You know, even if the Rams or the 49ers do get a first down on this, Joe, boy, the Rams defense looks like they smell blood, don't they? I mean, their offensive line is running around now. You see them penetrating the gaps, playing the run real well. We saw him get some heat on Steve Young a few moments ago. They look like they are playing inspired football, and you have to wonder not only how much effect the offense has had, their offense has put up 10 points, but how much does it affect you when you see the 49ers lose a guy like Steve Wallace?
Young just did pick up the first down. The ball is placed inside the Ram 43. Now they'll bring the chains out. They had already moved the chains on the far side of the field, but I believe the Rams have requested a measurement. But he picked up the first down. Steve Wallace, who left with a thigh bruise, is back into the game. So that's good news for 49ers fans. Wallace back in and Pollock out. They desperately need his presence on the offensive line because they're the only veterans they have. Wallace, and then in the middle, Bart Oates.
Absolutely. And, you know, Wallace, as I said before, not only a fine player, but Wallace is a physical, mean. I think he might be one of the meanest offensive tackles in the league. Here you see Harris Barton on the sideline with that elbow there, where he had some problems with that. Now he's got it in a brace. You know, I'm sure he's anxious to get himself back out onto the field. He hates seeing his line banged up like this, and even more than seeing his line banged up, I'm sure last week against the Chiefs, he hated seeing Steve Young banged up.
They're having some problems with the clock, the game clock here at Anaheim Stadium. 8 to 10 weeks. That's the prognosis for recovery for Harris Barton, who is out with a torn left tricep. First and 10 for the 49ers. Taylor coughed it up, and they rule it incomplete.
You know, the 49er offensive line on that play did exactly what they want to do. They kept the Rams defenders out, and they opened up a perfect pocket for Steve Young, allowing him to look down the middle of the field.
First incomplete pass of the day for Young.
That's amazing. And you know, it's an incomplete pass, but he put it right on the numbers, didn't he?
8 out of 9 is Young for 106 yards and a touchdown. Second and 10. Waters met and brought down. Anthony Newman, the free safety. What a tackle, and now they rough it up. Waters is known as a talker, although he's calmed that down a little. Newman and Waters in each other's face.
And Newman not only making the play and making the tackle out in the open field. There was a lot of space out there, a lot of grass around Ricky Waters. Watch him out here. Watch all this space. And Newman not only makes the tackle and brings him down, he hits him. Watch him strike him right here like that. You know, that's a great tackle. That's a hard thing to do in the NFL, especially against a guy like Ricky Waters. To hit him and to bring him down in the open field is a difficult task.
Game clock to read 8 minutes and 25 seconds. The game clock should read 8 minutes and 25 seconds.
They'll need to put 23 seconds back on the clock.
Game clock.
You know, sometimes you get aggravated with these little glitches and holdups, but all that tells me is that these officials are right on top of it, and they're exact to the second. They want everything to be right. They're true professionals, and I'm really glad to hear just today that it looks like they're going to settle with the NFL owners, and we're going to have these NFL officials all season long. There's not going to be a strike, and it looks like they're going to get some good money and some good pension, and everybody should be happy.
Word we get, salaries double, pensions triple. These officials work hard.
Well, they earn their money. Not only are they good at what they do, I mean, it's dangerous out there.
6 defensive backs into the game. Young brings his team to the line on 3rd and 11. Pass rush and sacked. Robert Young brings down Steve Young. And a big crowd here at Anaheim Stadium loving it.
This is a big play here. Watch Robert Young at the top of the screen, coming around, working Harry Boatswain up, coming back underneath. Young scrambles around, and Young makes the play. You know, Bob McKittrick said that Robert Young is an excellent pass rusher and an underrated guy because he played for a 5-11 team last year, but he said he can get the job done.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer back to punt. Brantley deep for the Rams. Good punt. It'll be down inside the 10, near the 8 by the 49ers. A 39-yard punt. The Rams defense holds. Los Angeles has the football tied at 10. 10-10, and the Rams defense gets a well-deserved rest over on the sideline. We talked about the defensive line for the Rams with their advantage over this banged-up offensive line of the 49ers. They're making a game out of this.
Well, they're making a game out of it. You know, you don't see the 49ers punt the ball very often. Gary Plummer, their linebacker who's on the punt team, said they only punt the ball about 2 times a game. Well, there was one of them right there.
Darrell Ashmore is checked into the game at right tackle for the Rams. He takes over for Slater. Bettis trying to keep his feet and just did get outside the 10. Brought down at the 11 by Tim McDonald. And when you talk about Tim McDonald, you talk about a guy who's really going to be helped by the presence of Deion Sanders.
He is their heavy hitter. They don't want Tim McDonald in coverage. They want him up in the run support, making those big plays. I mean, the big run hits is what put Tim McDonald in the Pro Bowl. And I'll tell you what, on that last play, if he doesn't trip up Bettis's feet, Bettis is going for a long game.
2nd down and 6. Bettis 12 carries, 52 yards here in the first half. Play action. Miller airs it out, looking for Hester. Incomplete. Fantastic coverage by McDonald and Eric Davis.
You know, when you talk about Miller's deep ball accuracy, you saw it on that play. I mean, watch where he drops the ball. Double coverage on Hester. He's got 2 guys between him, but boy, that ball is right there. And only Eric Davis's great play, reaching over the top with his left hand and batting that ball. I mean, that's great athleticism right there by Eric Davis. Otherwise, Chris Miller threw a perfect deep ball. He threw a strike.
3rd down and 6, and 6 defensive backs into the game for San Francisco, including Toy Cook and Dion. Wide open, Isaac Bruce, and a 1st down. He's working on Eric Davis.
And this is a great play for the Rams because it takes them out of the hole. Their defense did a great job of holding. The punt was good by the 49ers, but boy, the Rams offense, you don't want to sit back there with your back to your own goal line. You want to move it out. Watch Deion Sanders right here take Flipper Anderson really out of the game. You know, that's what Deion does better than anyone in the National Football League. He covers man-to-man.
Deion Sanders in his first game of the 49ers. Bettis got a couple. You know what was interesting is when we talked to Flipper Anderson yesterday, he said, I hope they put Deion Sanders on me because I can take care of Deion. We have a history, and I'd rather have man-to-man. I can beat him.
Well, that's confidence, isn't it, Joe? Because I don't know many people that would say it with as much belief and feeling as Flipper said it to us. But boy, when push comes to shove, I've got to question if Flipper has the speed to pull away from Deion. I don't think anyone does.
2nd down and 7. Under 6 minutes to play. First half tied at 10. Bettis. Great tackle by Eric Davis.
But you talk about run support and you talk about Tim McDonald, but that's run support right there. Watch Eric Davis at the bottom of the screen coming up and just, you know, taking on the blocker, going right through him and making the tackle on a big, heavy back like Jerome Bettis. That's great football.
These cornerbacks and really the entire secondary trying to prove themselves again to George Seifert, because next week Deion Sanders will be a starter in the secondary.
That's right. Someone's going to have to sit.
3rd down and 9. Sack Stubblefield. All the way back at the 15-yard line, and Miller is hurt.
Boy, Dana Stubblefield came through there like a ton of bricks. Right up the middle of the field. Watch him over Tom Newberry on the left-hand side of your screen, just coming, you know, bouncing off, coming right past him, and real, oh boy, crunching hit to Chris Miller. And, you know, you have to wonder what kind of damage that's done to Chris Miller's ribs.
His ribs have been sore, and he took a vicious hit, and then the landing from Stubblefield. Landetta gets it away. Carter bobbles it and is smacked. Toby Wright brought him down. Dexter Carter with a mild concussion back into the game. The 90th meeting between these two. It's a good one. Tied at 10. MetLife Blimp is providing aerial coverage of today's game between the 49ers and Rams. The MetLife Blimp is co-piloted by Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. Today, rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying NFC West football action. I just read it. I don't write it.
I didn't write it either. I'll tell you one thing. Back in the 50s in this throwback thing, they didn't have Snoopy up there in a blimp.
No. Well, they didn't have the blimp, and I don't think anybody had heard of Snoopy by that.
No, or if they did, the two of them weren't together. They didn't go for that stuff in the 50s.
Tied at 10, and the 49ers have it back at their 37. First down, the toss to Waters. He finds nothing. Flag on the play. The defensive line, the secondary, stringing that play out. Let's go back to our Hollywood studios and talk to James Brown.
It is a back-and-forth affair at the Meadowlands. Take a look at the poise by Dave Brown, faking the reverse, then a naked boot, then passes a toss of 30 yards to Mike Sherrard. That makes it 17-13 New York. That in a second. Back to Anaheim. Joe and Tim.
We had a late flag on that first play on first down, a holding against the 49ers. So that will march the football back inside the 30. Repeat first down, but the 49ers not getting much accomplished after early success.
Like you said, the Rams defense really doing a nice job of stringing out the run play.
Waters and William Floyd in the backfield for San Francisco. Taylor. John Taylor caught a touchdown pass from Steve Young, a 3-yarder to put the 49ers out in front with over 10 minutes to play in the first quarter.
You know, Bob McKittrick, the offensive line coach for the 49ers, told us that one of the best pass protections is a 3-step drop by your quarterback and zip, get rid of the football. That's what they did on that play.
Shane Conlon, who had left earlier with a deep thigh bruise, is back in the lineup for the Rams as middle linebacker. Young looking for help. Instead, he finds Robert Young. his second of the day.
Wow, what a big play in a big game. And not only did he get the sack, boy, he stung Steve Young on this play. Watch him coming from the right-hand side of your screen, and Steve Young ducks his head, but not soon enough, and Robert Young just crunches him. Watch it right here. Wham! Gets him with his knee, goes right over the top, and really, that hurt Steve Young.
Bob McKittrick, as you pointed out, talked about Robert Young being undiscovered. He said, we hope they don't discover him after the game tomorrow. Airing it out, incomplete, looking for Rice. Good coverage by Todd Light.
Good coverage by Light and great pressure by the Rams defensive line. Watch Jimmy Jones and the pressure up front. Sean Gilbert moving Dahlman back, but watch Jones right there on top of Young. As soon as he gets rid of the ball, Jones comes down hard on him.
Light was right there with Jerry Rice. And that incompletion forces the 49ers to punt it away. Klaus Wilmsmeyer back to punt. And Chris Brantley is deep for the Rams. Standing inside his 25. Beautiful high spiraling kick taken inside the 15. And Brantley knocked down outside the 20, and a flag flies on the play. A 51-yard punt, an 8-yard return. He was smacked by Anthony Peterson. A flag on the play, and it's against the Rams.
I said earlier, Gary Plummer told us the 49ers only punt twice a game. They've already punted twice this game. Nice job by the Rams defense.
During the return, number 35, we will penalize half the distance to the goal line. First down.
They flag Keith Lyle, a rookie who played at Virginia, and that'll bring the football back inside the 10. The Rams have the football tied at 10 with the 49ers.
Watch the right-hand corner of your screen. You're going to see Keith Lyle hitting the 49er defender from the back. See that right there? That's it. It was that blur that went across the top of the screen, but that was the penalty.
Two tight ends into the game for the Rams. Bettis bounces outside, and he picked up 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. He is so tough to bring down.
Not only did he hit 49ers on that play, he hit Troy Drayton right in the back and knocked him over. If Bettis doesn't see a hole, he'll make a hole. Watch him here on the right-hand side, running the ball up. Nice hole. Stubblefield misses. Watch him hit Drayton right in the wham. Hits his own guy right in the back because he's got too much forward momentum to stop.
Second down and 3. Bettis finds a first down.
You have to wonder what Bettis is saying to his offensive lineman in the huddle. Leo Goes told us that he gets in there, he likes to talk to his big guys up front, and he says, hey guys, we can either do it in one play, I'll run 80 yards for a touchdown, or
we can do it the hard way.
We can do it the hard way, and we'll run it 8 times for 10 yards each and we'll go for a touchdown. But wouldn't you rather just do it once and get to the sideline for a little Gatorade?
At the 2-minute warning, tied at 10. The Rams and 49ers, and the Rams have the football. The things about the support of the Rams here in Anaheim, but they're filling the seats today, and they are glad they're here. Tied at 10. 2-minute warning of the first half. Hey, this Thursday, see why critics say the music and the attitude all combined to make this show the Miami Vice of the 90s. From the producer of Law and Order comes New York Undercover. Catch an all-new episode this Thursday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. 1st and 10, Los Angeles. Deion Sanders checks into the game for the 49ers. Miller to put it up. Eludes the rush and throws it away. And now a flag is thrown, and I believe they'll call intentional grounding.
I believe they will too, Joe, but boy, Chris Miller is going to argue about that because Howard Griffith was right there and he threw the ball at Howard Griffith's feet.
Dennis Brown with a pressure on Miller.
You know, you'll watch on the replay, and you'll see that Miller, you know, he is trying to ground the football, but watch number 30, Griffith, right there. And so Miller thinks, hey, I can throw it because it's close. Boy, you know.
He's got a good argument.
Yeah, I think he does. I really think he does, and the crowd doesn't like it either.
Out of the pass.
The loss of down is always critical on intentional grounding, and they spot the ball at the spot of the pass, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 23.
Boy, that really hurts this Rams offense. And, you know, Chris Miller really thinking he was doing the smart thing by throwing the ball into the ground because the screenplay, you know, or that dump pass didn't have time to develop.
2nd down and 23. 4 wideouts into the game for the Rams, and they hand to Bettis. Big stick, and Bettis still found 6 yards.
He finds 6, but boy, you know, the Rams have to put a lot more than that. They're in a big hole here.
San Francisco spends their first timeout. They hope to stop the Rams here, force the punt, then pick up some scoring as we head for halftime. Coming up on the Dockers halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from around the league on this 3rd week of the '94 NFL season. That's all coming up next on the Dockers halftime. Chuck Knox has got to be awfully proud of his Rams here today after winning their opener here against Arizona, losing big in Atlanta, but they were in that game. Now today they're playing the 49ers tough.
Well, Chris Miller told us yesterday, he said, hey, we're 15-point dogs, underdogs that is. No one expects us to win it, but we're going to go out there, we're going to pull out the stops, we're going to run the shock plays on offense, we're going to run Bettis, and our defense is going to do the job. And so far the Rams defense has done the job, and Chris Miller and the offense has also answered the call.
3rd and 16. So is Bettis. 17 carries, 70 yards in the first half. Hester in motion, and here's Bailey. Got it just outside the 16, and the 49ers will call a timeout. That'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit comes onto the field for the Rams. Chuck Knox and the offensive coordinator for the Rams, Chick Harris, not wanting to just force the ball in the air and risking the easy turnover.
Well, that's true. I mean, the 49ers defense is a defense that you have to respect. Last year rated 15th in the National Football League. So far this season, they're ranked 3rd. They've really upgraded their defense, and their defense has improved not only from a personnel standpoint, but as a unit. They feel like they're working together, and they're playing better football, and the numbers show it.
Sean Landeta, one of the more talented punters in the NFL. Long time with the New York Giants in his 10th year. This season averaging better than 45.5 yards per punt. Dexter Carter's back deep.
You know, it's interesting. We talked to Sean Landeta yesterday, and he said for a kicker, it doesn't matter who you're playing. The field is still the same, and the ball is still the same. All you have to do is get back there and kick it.
He'll kick from inside his 5. Beautiful punt. Dexter Carter. Flag on the play as Henderson, I believe, was clipped. Wyman Henderson pushed from behind. He came flying past Carter. A 49-yard punt, 11-yard return. But I believe that penalty will be against the 49ers.
Well, Henderson had Tyrone Drakeford beat, running all the way down the field. And if Drakeford doesn't push Henderson in the back, Henderson is just like a missile headed right for Carter.
The 49ers will have the football regardless of where, and they are left with only 1 timeout with 1.5 minutes left in the first half. Dick Hantak will give us the call.
You know, a lot of times on these kicking games, you can get away with pushing a guy in the back, and it happens a lot. It happens all the time, probably on every kicking play. But when you're out there on the edge, where Drakeford and Henderson were running down the sideline, boy, you know, you're almost going to get called for it every time.
San Francisco has been flagged for 6 penalties, totaling 70 yards in the first half.
Foul. Illegal block while the ball was in the air prior to possession. We will penalize 10 yards from the spot of possession gain. First down.
Still belongs to the 49ers. And Young and the Niners will set up at their own 32. We'll give you another look. There's Henderson.
Well, watch Drakeford gets his hands right on his back. You see that? I mean, that is about as obvious an illegal block as you can get. And, you know, he hits him so hard, Henderson has time to do a somersault. Nice athletic move by Henderson.
Now trying to figure out exactly where the ball should be spotted.
You know, when you see Henderson do that roll and that somersault, it's not just a good thing because it prevents him from getting hurt. It's better when you roll, but it's a great athletic move. It's a great football move because you don't know if the penalty is going to be called, and you got to get down and get into play and make the tackle.
From their own 23, the 49ers have the football. A minute and a half left, only one timeout, and 6 defensive backs into the game for the Rams. Jones is popped, and he comes up just short of the first down marker.
I think Steve Young loves things like this. I think he loves going into a 2-minute offense with all the weapons he's got and trying to move his offense down the field.
On second and short, Young finds Jones again. Just shy of midfield.
I mean, the 49er offense working in sync like a Swiss clock.
First down. To the sideline, Rice. He'll get out of bounds to stop the clock. Short of first down yardage, he got 9, but more importantly, he stopped the clock with 46 seconds remaining in the half.
Here's a comfort factor right here when you've got Jerry Rice out there making this out cut, catching the ball, getting knocked out of bounds. I mean, he even stops the clock and he makes it look easy.
Todd Light with the coverage. Rice with 4 catches, 35 yards for the day. Second and a yard, and Young gets it to Waters. And Waters gets out of bounds. First down, San Francisco. Henley forced him out at the 36-yard line. You could call it the 35 of the Rams.
And the Rams, again, in that prevent defense where they're only sending 3 defensive linemen in the rush, dropping the other 8 guys back into coverage. So Steve Young, he sees that. He sees there's no one open downfield, and he goes to the dump pass to Ricky Waters. And Waters is such a good runner, he'll get you 5 or 6 yards after the catch anyway.
A well-coached team catch the football, get out of bounds. On first down, underneath Logan. The clock will run short of the first down, and there's the final timeout of the half, called by Young and the 49ers.
You know, didn't Steve Young impress you last week? The way he handled the whole media circus surrounding his shootout with Joe Montana?
We talked to him yesterday, and we threw out the compliment, hey, congratulations, it was impressive how you handled yourself last week in Kansas City. You know he wanted that game as bad as Montana, if not more than Montana, to prove himself. He could have very easily blamed a banged up offensive line for all the hits he took and the rough day he had, but he didn't. He took the blame, said we just didn't win the game, let's move on and learn from it. I am thoroughly impressed with Young. He is still one of the best in the league.
And that's what makes a great leader, not only on the football field but in life. A guy who will stand up. He doesn't point fingers at anyone. He doesn't gripe or complain or say, oh, I've got a bad lot in life. I mean, he's just a guy who's thankful, he works hard, and he makes things happen.
Let us not forget he threw his 100th touchdown pass earlier in this first half. One of only 4 San Francisco quarterbacks to do it. And he's thrown only 2 incompletions, one of them a drop ball. Second down and 4. Rice just short of the end zone, and the clock will continue to run. The 49ers are going to have to get up and spike the ball. They cannot stop the clock. Young stops it with 4 seconds, and now the decision. Do you try to punch it in, or do you take the 3? You're only going to get 1 play.
I don't know. I mean, the 49ers to me are the type of team that they're going to go for the touchdown. That's I think what they do, but
that is exactly what they'll do. They'll have 1 play to get it into the end zone, take the points, or this could be an enormous lift for the Rams going in at halftime.
And this is a huge play right here for either team. Whoever wins this play is going to go, like you said, with the momentum.
2 tight ends into the game for the 49ers. 1 chance. Touchdown. Doesn't get any simpler than that. And Young and Henry rolling, talk it over. The 49ers punch it in. No time left on the clock after that play as we end the first half with the extra point coming.
I mean, is that confidence or is that confidence? You know, the 49ers didn't become a dominant NFL football team because they didn't take chances and they didn't have confidence. A lot of teams would go for the 3, go for the lead in halftime, but not the 49ers.
Doug Bryan on to attempt the extra point. Jerry Rice with a big catch to put him inside the 1, and Young pushes it into the end zone. Bryan's kick is good, and the 49ers lead by 7. Steve Young puts it in the end zone. The Rams will have the ball to start the second half. That's the end of the first half with a score. San Francisco 17, the Rams 10. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues.
Dressed. Get Dockers.
And welcome to the Dockers halftime. Those of you watching the 49ers and Rams, Steve Young closes out the half with a touchdown run, and the 49ers lead at 17-10. Dion making his debut for the 49ers.
Yeah, yes, he did. But it's John Taylor, 101, a little quick out. Nice job rolling out that way, Steve Young.
And then Chris Miller finding Troy Drayton, who beats Ken Norton, and it's 7-7 at that point. But as we indicated at the half, 49ers lead it by a touchdown. Boy, what a surprising score at the Meadowlands. The Washington Redskins rebuilding, leading the Giants by a field goal. That at the half, Dan Reeves dapper no matter what he wears.
Yeah, he looks good. We talked to Dan Reeves earlier, and he said he would take Dave Meggett wide on sweeps, and there's a good indicator there as he rushes for a touchdown.
John Freeze, third option. Henry Ellert, 51st career touchdown for Henry Ellert. That made it 10-all.
Not only that, but also the 10th player in NFL history to catch over 10,000 yards in pass receptions.
Dave Brown tosses a 30-yarder to Mike Sherrard. That made it 17-13 New York, but Freeze finds former LA Raider Ethan Horton back in the end zone, and Washington leads it at the half, as we mentioned, by the score of 20-17. Arizona having all kinds of problems offensively, blanked in their game today against the Browns, 32-0. Buddy Ryan, boy, Buddy Ball is a dud on the offensive end, Terry.
Yeah, you said it. That's right, J.B. Brown. You said a dud ball. There's Burline. He's not even active, so in comes Jay Schrader. I know Howie Long hates to see this guy get in the game. Throws it up. Eric Turner, 93-yard interception return for a touchdown as Cleveland dogs all over Buddy's Cardinals.
Oh, drag Howie into this mess now.
He's right over there.
All
Why
right.
not?
First time that Buddy Ryan's team has been blanked. All right, moving along there. Philadelphia and Green Bay, not a particularly effective game by either quarterback. Low-scoring affair. The Eagles win it by 6. Tampa Bay had a chance to win it on a 54-yard field goal. That's right. It's coming out with 1 second left by Michael Husted. Instead, the Saints do it on the strength of 3 field goals by Morton Anderson. Terry continues to smile. Right now, San Diego smiling at the half, leading Seattle by a touchdown. And the Raiders, Jeff Hostetler threw 3 picks last week. This week, 3 touchdowns in the first half, leading the Broncos comfortably by 25. We'll be back with more after this.
For years, Kelly...
And welcome to the Dockers halftime. In the black and blue division today, it was Chicago taking all the lumps, losing to the Vikes 42-14. Long day for Dave Wannstedt.
Well, coming off Monday night loss to Philadelphia, his Bears defense counting this game has given up 72 points. There you see Warren Moon find Jake Reed in the back of the end zone, 18-yard TD reception.
Kramer finds the wrong man here.
Too late with the throw. You got to have a gun to get it out there. Dwayne Washington picks it off. He goes 81 yards for an interception return touchdown.
159 yards on the ground today by Terry Allen. Robert Smith comes off and adds to that.
Oh, man, you got to love this. Robert Smith's speed inside and outside. Terry Allen up between the tackles. Warren Moon throwing it. Good defense by the Vikings.
Terry, they were cooking in Miami, and that's always the case with Dan Marino.
Hey, have we talked about his quick release?
No, we haven't.
There's one right there out in the flat. Keith Fire. Touchdown.
Talk about a quick release. Pete Carroll's upset.
Have we talked about his quick release,
No,
Jay?
we haven't.
Well, let's talk about it. Boom, there's another one to Keith Jackson. He's going down. No, lateral. Ha-ha. Irving Fryer, touchdown, 28-14, Miami.
I trust you like that one. Well, Jim Kelly always poised. I think Bucky Richardson looks a little tight.
Hey, have we talked about his quick release?
No, we haven't.
Well, he doesn't have one.
And we understand why. The defense was all over it.
All over. Bucky got 4 sacks today. 4 of those were by Bruce Smith. Here's a smart play. Avoided the sack. Knew he had a screen. It wasn't going to work. Got rid of the ball. But one thing Bucky Richardson can do, he can get out, avoid sacks, makes this run on the, this throw on the run, finds Pat Ryan Coleman, that is, in the back of the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, I tell you, Kevin Green got his teammate Robert Humphrey fired up.
Yeah, look at this, 95-yard. And, JB, this is the opening kickoff of the game. And one thing the Steelers have to work on is their special teams. Very weak so far this year.
And don't think Bill Cowher doesn't know that.
He's got a good quarterback in Neil O'Donnell, who has a good receiving fullback in John L. Williams. The Steelers going to win 31-21 over the Colts.
New England, talk about a lot of scoring. My goodness, but David Klingler here finding Carl Pickens in the back of the end zone.
Good job by Klinger. He's doing a much better job. Bill Parcells doesn't like what he sees, but he's got to like this guy. Drew Bledsoe, over 1,100 yards passing in the first 3 games, 8 touchdowns, and right now the Bengals 0-3. Don't forget, last year, 0-10 start for the Bengals.
You normally don't think a lot of points on the offensive end for New England, but in fact, that's exactly what happened as New England pulled it out. All right, so the Dockers halftime will continue after this.
On a throwback weekend in the National Football League, we've got a good one. Oh, Nelly, we got a barn burner. Yowza, yowza, yowza. Joe Buck and Tim Green with you as we end our careers here today. This is a throwback weekend, Tim. The Los Angeles Rams are playing like they did the first time they put on these uniforms, like their championship years in the 50s.
So far, they really have. I mean, they look like champions. They're playing against the 49ers, who are the favored champions. But, boy, the Rams look just as good today. And, you know, I feel like I'm back in the 50s.
You know, we're going to have to get out of the booth after this game and hop on the train, and I'll chug back to St. Louis. You're back to New York. I hope we get a game up in the Northeast next week.
Well, I'm going to get home about Tuesday and then, you know, turn around, spend a couple days with the family, and hop back on another train, hit the tracks again, and, you know, wherever the league takes us. That's
Say hi to the milkman on the way out the door in the morning, right?
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at our MCI highlight. Proof positive from MCI. Proof positive that this is one of the best combinations in the history of the NFL. Jerry Rice.
Absolutely. Young to Rice. I mean, just before halftime, you see this big catch setting up the touchdown. That's what they do so well. I said Steve Young looks like he's enjoying himself, and he had to enjoy himself. He marched him right down the field and then put the ball in from the 1-yard line for the touchdown.
Oh, there's nothing like getting introduced to 40% of the country looking like this, is there, Tim?
No, it's everybody's first chance to see what we look like, Joe, and quite frankly, we look like fools.
We had a good time. We hope you did, and I know you're glad you're tuned into this one. The 49ers kick it away, leading by 7. Brantley from just outside his 10. Forced out of bounds at the 30, and a flag flies just at the completion of the play. The referees wearing special hats. There's a little closer to the norm of what they would normally wear.
Yeah, you know, everybody wore hats back then, and, you know, they put that hat on us, but now my head, I think my head's going to sweat for the next 3 days. You know, I'm glad to get rid of those pencils in my pocket. They were kind of weighing down the front of my coat.
This will be against the 49ers and give the Rams an extra few yards.
Hands to the face on the kicking team, number 20. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the Rams will set up with a ball outside their own 40. The first half statistics, a well-played first half. Steve Young was on fire at quarterback, but Miller wasn't that far behind, and Bettis has been fantastic.
Well, Bettis has really churned up the yards. You see 73 yards for the Rams on the ground. That's what they want to do.
Howard Griffith in motion. First play of the second half, right through the arms of Troy Drayton. Covered by Plummer, and Drayton, who caught a touchdown earlier, wants more action. Well, should have caught that.
Yeah, and you saw Drayton pointing to himself. He knows he should have caught it. And we saw him with the 2 catches earlier, one for the touchdown call back and the other one touchdown counts. Boy, that's right in his hands, and he just missed it. He didn't have the same concentration he had on that touchdown pass. Maybe if Gary Plummer had his hand in his face mask, he would have caught it.
The Rams spreading the ball around. Tight ends have caught 3 passes from Chris Miller. Second down and 10. Bettis. First down and into 49er territory. Dana Hall looking for help. How do I bring this guy down?
Boy, was that beautiful, or was that beautiful? I mean, Jerome Bettis running to the left, seeing a hole back to the inside. Watch him make the cut, and watch Jones make the block right there. Clarence Jones, 72, phasing out Norton, and then Bettis gets hit. He's got 1, he's got 2, and he'll just keep going and get 5, 6, 7 more before Plummer comes up to help and bring him down.
First and 10 at the San Francisco 40. Here he is again. Got a couple. Tim McDonald, the strong safety, brought him down.
Again, McDonald doing what he does best, being that strong safety, coming up in the run game and bringing Bettis down again by the ankles.
19 carries for Bettis, 91 yards.
Great numbers for him. You know, Tom Newberry told us yesterday that Jerome Bettis talks about 2,000 yards. He wants 2,000 yards, and he believes he can do it.
Second down and 8. Play action. Miller puts it up, wide open, and dropped. Flipper Anderson, who has been draped by Deion Sanders for the better part of the afternoon, missed an easier catch.
Well, when you talk about not making a catch you're supposed to, this is it right here. Chris Miller putting the ball on the money. It is a little low, but he gets it right in there in the numbers, and Flipper's got to pull that in.
That'll bring up 3rd and 8. 4 wideouts into the game for the Rams, and Bailey in the backfield with Miller. Over the middle, Miller's arm was hit, and he threw it incomplete. Trying to get it to Johnny Bailey. Pressure by Troy Wilson.
Watch Deion Sanders here, stride for stride. Flipper Anderson taking him effectively out of the play. You know, Deion, what he'll do is sometimes he'll let a receiver get some distance just to get the quarterback to throw the ball near him so he can get an interception. That's how good he is. That's how much closing speed he has.
That's the only way he gets any action. Nicely handled by Landetta. Trying to get it inside the 10. It's out of bounds right about at the 10-yard line. Make it the 11. Great work by Sean Landetta. Saved the low snap. Kicked it out of bounds at the 11. A 27-yard punt. And the 49ers have it. The 49ers have it 1st and 10 at their own 11. Their first possession of the second half. Waters on the delay. Conlon there to bring him down.
We saw the Rams linebacker core earlier in the game putting the stop to the 49ers run, and we saw him there again. Joe Kelly, 52, Shane Conlon, 56, and Roman Pfeiffer, 58, all in on that play, shutting down Ricky Waters.
Conlon limps off earlier. He was banged up and had to leave the action with a deep thigh bruise. He made that play. Now he exits along with Kelly. Frank Pollock at left tackle for the 49ers in place of Wallace, who's still hurting. We need to check in with James Brown in his Hollywood studio. James?
All right, Joe, the fans at the Meadowlands are being treated to a game and a half. Dave Meggett with the halfback option. Take a look. Tosses his third career touchdown pass, all against Washington, and it's 24-20 New York in the third. Back to Anaheim, Joe and Tim.
Two good ones with late action on this, the third week of the '94 season.
It's incredible that Meggett could throw all those touchdowns against one team.
On third down, Rice dropped it. Take a picture of that. That would have been good for the first down. Light was there, but Rice just simply dropped it.
Well, Light was there, but again, the Rams defensive line doing a nice job of putting quick pressure on Steve Young. And when Rice drops a ball, you know, he's so good you almost have to wonder if it was a timing pass and he didn't expect to get the ball that soon.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer will start from his end zone. Brantley deep for the Rams. Beautiful punt. High spiral. Brantley from outside his 35. Runs into trouble with Nate Singleton there to bring him down. And the Rams, with their second possession of the second half, trail by 7. And of captains Lee Bradbury and Matt Elkins. The MetLife blimp is providing the aerial shots here at Anaheim Stadium. MetLife's aerial ambassadors will attend over 70 sporting events and television specials this year. So look to the skies for Snoopy and the MetLife blimp. 1st and 10 Rams. Play action to Bettis. Griffith out of the backfield. 1st down Rams. Forced out of bounds by Lee Woodall, but not before Howard Griffith picked up the 1st down.
Again, we said earlier the Rams were going to play fake to Bettis, drawing, you know, Miller does a nice job of laying that ball in there, pulling it out, and then he gets some heat on him, but he gets the ball away quickly and nicely, again, with an accurate pass. Not the deep ball, the short ball, but the accurate ball.
1st down, Los Angeles in San Francisco territory. With 2 tight ends into the game. Here's Jerome Bettis right at the marker.
You know, I can't say enough about Jerome Bettis as a running back. He goes up to the line and he staggers. You watch him behind his right guard here, Leo Goes. Okay, watch him stagger with his feet. He gets to the line. He chops his feet right there, boom, makes the cut, sees the hole, and then shoots upfield. I mean, he's a big guy, but he runs like a little guy.
Already 102 yards for Bettis. Again, on 1st down, he got 5 and a flag on the play. Tackled by Norton.
Aren't the Rams offensive line doing a good job now? I mean, they may have a holding penalty here, and they had problems with that last week, but they are creating opportunities for Jerome Bettis.
Dick Hantak will give us the call.
Offense, number 61, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 1st down.
Vern Brostek whistled for the hold.
You watch him here. You know, Gary Plummer, the inside backer for the 49ers, said that's what the Rams do. And watch him. He gets his hands outside the defender and grabs on. You know, that wasn't even that bad of a holder, but he had his left hand on Bryant Young's shoulder. And Plummer told us that that's what the Rams do. He said that their offensive line holds as good as anyone.
1st and 20. Play action again. Miller going deep, incomplete. Flipper Anderson, the intended receiver, and Merton Hanks was right there with him.
This is the second time we've seen Flipper do that curl out, and Chris Miller throwing the ball low because Hanks has got good coverage on him. And Chris Miller, he drops it in low there because he doesn't want to take a chance on the interception. But you know, Flipper did a nice job of getting open, and Chris has got to deliver the ball there a little bit more on the money.
Deion Sanders checks into the game for the 49ers. Closest to you on the corner. Squatted down. On 2nd and 20, incomplete. Deion all over it. Looking for Isaac Bruce, and Sanders, it's like he's in mid-season form, and he's playing in his first live football action since last season.
The guy is an amazing athlete. I mean, I was with the Falcons when I saw him take a flight down from a World Series game in Pittsburgh down to Miami with 4 hours sleep, hop off and play defensive back well. So, I mean, you know, he hasn't practiced, but he's had more rest than he did in that game.
Now 3rd and 20. Bailey trying to set up the screen. He gets 2. Ricky Jackson there for the 49ers.
Ricky Jackson and Ken Norton. Nice linebacker play by the two of them, by that duo there for the 49ers, because they were all over that screenplay. They weren't fooled a bit.
Time for the Rams to punt. Landetta back.
Chris, come.
Dexter Carter deep for the 49ers. Stands right at his 10. Fourth punt of the day for Landetta. Another low snap. Again well handled and angling it for the corner. Into the end zone and a touchback. Landetta with a short hop like one of the California Angels would take care of here at the Big A. 49ers by 7. This game summary is brought to you by Budweiser. With 9:01 left to play in the 3rd quarter, the 49ers have the edge on the scoreboard and with the total yards. What a day for Steve Young. 16 out of 20. A touchdown, and he's closing in on 200 yards.
That's right. He's been sacked twice, but, you know, the offensive line has done a good job. You don't put those kind of numbers up without good pass protection.
Steve Wallace is back in the game for the 49ers. A good sign. The pass caught over the middle, a pickup of 7, as Young found his tight end, Brent Jones.
You know, Steve Young likes to throw down the middle of the field. They have all these complicated patterns with receivers and running backs crossing and curling in and out, and you know, it always seems to free Brent Jones up right down the middle of the field, doesn't it?
It does, and Jones lines up on 2nd down and 3. Wallace checks back out of the game for the 49ers. Pollock back in. 1st down catch. Brent Jones, he got 6 and a 1st down, tackled by Kelly.
You know, it's amazing how much Steve Young has to look through to see his receiver in the middle of the field. Look at the height and the arms. Jimmy Jones gets his hands up, but it's like he's been doing it forever. I mean, he just throws it right through all that traffic, and the ball is right on the money, and Brent Jones is right on the money.
39 yards today for Jones through the air. 1st down. Rice all alone. 1st down San Francisco. He got 10 and stepped out just ahead of the marker.
Big mix up there by the Rams defense. You saw Marquez Pope running up to the line of scrimmage late, and there was some confusion, and as a result, Rice was left wide open. Watch Rice here taking advantage of the mix-up, going in motion, and that causes the mix-up. And you see Marquez Pope and Todd Light, neither one of them is exactly sure who's supposed to be on Rice, and Rice takes advantage of it.
6 catches, 75 yards today for Jerry Rice, and on 1st down, Logan out of the backfield, hit and hit hard. Marquez Pope brought him down. He got 6.
George Dyer, the Rams defensive coordinator, told us that Marquez Pope, he likes him as a defensive player because he'll strike people. And you saw it on that play. That was a strike, is what he threw at Mark Logan.
Here's George Dyer. Not happy with his own efforts last week as the Rams played in Atlanta. Said we tried to defend everything. We ended up defending nothing. Second down. Waters is smacked. There's Pope again.
Yeah, let me take that back. The other hit on Logan wasn't, that was the strike. I mean, that was, or if the other one was a strike, that was a triple strike. What do they call that, a turkey in bowling? I mean, no question about this being a strike right here. Watch it. Watch the hit. Watch the impact. Oh, that hurts.
Marquez Pope, the strong safety. Strong with that hit. Second down and 3. Taylor, a first down catch. Inside the 35 and down near the 31.
You know, as a defensive player, it is always so frustrating to play against the San Francisco 49ers because you think you've got them stopped, you come up and make a big hit like Marquez Pope did on the run play, and then they turn right around and they come at you with another weapon. They come at you with Waters, then they'll hit you with Rice, then Jones, then Taylor.
Steve Young had a career-high game here in Anaheim last year against the Rams. He's over 200 yards today. First down. Nearly intercepted by Henley and a flag on the play. Darrell Henley with good coverage. Good work by Darrell Henley, and this penalty will be against the 49ers. Henley was all over John Taylor.
Oh, we've seen the 49ers go at Henley with both Rice and Taylor, and you wonder if they're not doing it because Henley hasn't had that much experience. He hasn't had a lot of time, hasn't had time in training camp, and hasn't played a lot so far.
Offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
That'll bring up first and 20. Darrell Henley is playing these days with a lot on his mind, and we'll give you a look at the play that he made on John Taylor. I mean, he was all over him and nearly picked it off.
Well, watch him on the right-hand side of your screen. You're going to see him getting perfect body position here to pick off this pass.
Pass was a bit overthrown, and Henley came up empty. On first and 20, almost picked off by Pfeiffer as Waters cut the wrong way.
Now, almost picked off by Pfeiffer, and again, the Rams defensive line doing what their defensive coordinator George Dyer said they had to do. Get pressure on Young, and you saw Jimmy Jones in Young's face on that play.
Jim, I want to go back to Henley. I mentioned a lot on his mind under indictment on a federal charge of drug trafficking. His deadline for coming up with an extra $40,000 in bail has been extended to this upcoming Wednesday. It had been Friday. And that is with regard to him playing here in Anaheim. The Rams have already posted a $2 million bond for him to travel with the Rams. Complete, short of the first down on second and 20. Brent Jones over the middle.
The 49ers will do that time and time again. And, you know, it's almost like you can't stop it. I mean, they run so many different patterns at you. They do so many different things that they're just a tough team to defend.
Fred Stokes checks into the game for the Rams to help out with the pass rush. 6 defensive backs in the secondary for Los Angeles. Singleton in motion. Dropped. Nate Singleton over the middle. He would have been short anyway.
They motioned Singleton across the formation and saw that he was being covered man-to-man by Robert Bailey, and he took advantage. He started up the field and then broke back to the inside, but he didn't come across with the catch.
Doug Bryan on to try the long field goal. They'll place the ball at the 37, a 47-yard field goal attempt. He has not made a field goal over 40 yards this season. Now he has. That gives the 49ers a 10-point lead. The rookie from California makes good from 47, and the 49ers lead 20-10. Deion Sanders has had some action today. Yesterday, Tim Green asked him if the 49ers are a Super Bowl team.
I hope so. They have the talent. They have the team with or without Deion Sanders. This is a good team. This is a great team. We know that. Me and you know that, don't we? We've been on the other end of those whoopings, but we've given a few too. But this is a great team. It really is.
You happy?
I'm happy to death, man. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
Deion Sanders has been a part of this game. He has shut down Flipper Anderson this afternoon. Ryan kicks it to David Lang. Big return for Lang. A flag on the play. Out near midfield, but a flag on the opposite side of the field. Kevin Mitchell, a rookie who played at Syracuse, made the tackle and will check the flag. Nonetheless, a great effort by David Lang, and Dick Hantak thinking it over.
You know, the interesting thing about that flag is it was thrown kind of late, and it was thrown all the way on the opposite side of the field from where the Rams were returning the ball.
It is against Los Angeles, so the penalties hurting again, as Chuck Knox talked about yesterday with us.
Block on the return, number 35, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Watch right here to the right of the goalpost, and you're going to see the illegal block that gets called right here, right there. Pushes him. Not a big thing, but just enough to draw the penalty. Costly penalty for the Rams.
Instead of having the ball down by 10 out at the 50, it's 1st and 10 from just outside their own 20.
And those are a big 30 yards in a football game, Joe. I mean, starting at midfield and starting down in your own 20 is a world apart.
Charles Mann has checked into the game for the 49ers, just signed during the week after the injury to Richard Dent, a 4-time Pro Bowler with the Washington Redskins.
And George Seifert told us yesterday that Charles Mann, we could expect to see him 10 to 15 times during the game, replacing Ricky Jackson and giving him a spell.
Wearing number 71, as he did with Washington. Daryl Ashmore is in the game. Jackie Slater was the starter at right tackle. Now it's Daryl Ashmore for the Rams. And he'll be working on Charles Mann. There's Daryl, trying to get him more into the action.
Was an illegal block in the back, 10-yard foul.
Now even closer to their own end zone. The ball is spotted just outside the 11. Nearly a 40-yard difference after that penalty.
And at a time, Joe, when the Rams need to put points on the board, they need to close that 10-point gap, and this makes it all that much harder.
San Francisco leading 20-10. 1st and 10, Los Angeles. From the 11. Lester. Only the 3rd time this season a running back other than Jerome Bettis has carried the ball out of the backfield for the Rams.
Boy, Dennis Brown was all over that play. Watch on the right of your screen. Watch Dennis Brown right here coming through the line, hitting the gap, and hitting Tim Lester behind the line of scrimmage.
Dennis Brown has played 5 years now. This is his 5th in the National Football League. Played collegiately at Washington. 2nd and 10. To the sideline. Great effort defensively by Eric Davis.
This is the 2nd time we've seen Eric Davis with excellent coverage. And, you know, we talked earlier about how one of those players in the San Francisco secondary is going to have to sit down next week and make room for Deion Sanders. And so far, Eric Davis has been making an excellent case to have him stay out on the field. Watch him here, just reaching in just perfectly, tapping that ball before it can be caught.
Isaac Bruce, the intended receiver. Now 3rd and 10. Miller. Short of the first down. Brought down at the 20 by Dana Stubblefield, and it's time for the Rams to punt. Miller picked up 9.
You know, you see this 49er pressure here, and Chris Miller feels the heat. He's got no receivers open, so he sees a little gap and he runs for it. And then Dana Stubblefield, 6'2", 302 pounds, but he's still running around chasing him down the field. And here you see Deion Sanders with that perfect man-to-man coverage again.
Isaac Bruce didn't have any room to breathe. Landeta punts it away from his own 10. High spiraling kick taken by Carter at his 25. Brought out of bounds at the 40. 55-yard punt, 15-yard return, and the 49ers again have the football, leading by 10. Next week, Fox NFL Sunday coverage begins with the only 1-hour pregame show with Attitude, featuring Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, and James Brown at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Then it's regional NFL action at 1 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific, when the Rams take on Joe Montana and the Kansas City Chiefs, or Atlanta takes on the Redskins. Pressure from Gilbert. Young gets it away, but overthrows Singleton. A flag on the play.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Sean Gilbert getting back there into Young's face today.
Illegal contact. Defense. 5 yards. Automatic first down.
Just to finish off the graphic, at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, New Orleans next week will shoot it out with a 49ers aerial attack of Young and Jerry Rice. We've seen a lot of that today. So check local listings for the game in your area right here on Fox Sports. So the 49ers have a 1st and 10 from their own 45, leading by 10. Rice brought down right at the first down marker. He needed to get to the 45 of Los Angeles, and he got right to the yard line. A little short now as they give him a shorter marking, so this will come up short of the first down.
Watch Rice again in motion, finding the soft spot in the zone, you know, and then making the run after the catch. See Pollock there making a nice block on Shane Conlon right at the top of the screen too. That's a good sign. You like to see those big offensive linemen getting downfield and making those blocks after the catch.
What a difference protecting Steve Young, the bodies he has in front of him. Logan out of the backfield, first down, just inside the Ram 40.
Boy, Marquez Pope again with another strike. I mean, he knocked Logan right off of his feet.
In case you're just joining us, not only is the 49er line without those who've been out this week, but they've lost Steve Wallace today.
And you have to give this 49er offensive line a lot of credit. I mean, you mentioned Sean Gilbert a few moments ago, but that's the only time he's had any effect on Steve Young.
Wallace is out. He's been in and out, but out most of the second half. Waters is smacked, and Marquez Pope is there again. Over on that left side, it's Pollock with Dolman at left guard, Oates at center, Deese at right guard, Boatswain at right tackle. And so out of the lineup for San Francisco, Wallace for the moment, Sapolu, Ralph Tam, Harris Barton.
Yeah, only Bart Oates is the last remaining starter for them, but still, once again, Steve Young has enjoyed some pretty good protection today.
6 defensive backs on 2nd and 10. Jones short of the first down. Wyman Henderson there for the Rams.
Yeah, I'm especially impressed, Joe, with the job that Chris Dahlman, number 67, has done at left guard. because he's facing Sean Gilbert. He's been across from him all day, and Sean Gilbert is a big, strong player.
Final seconds of the third quarter. That will be the last play of the quarter. It's throwback weekend in the NFL, and at the end of the third quarter, the 49ers lead the Rams 20-10. Back after this.
NFL Sunday.
We open up the fourth quarter. How you doing? Joe Buck and Tim Green with you, and the 49ers lead this game by 10. This has been a well-played football game. But again, the 49ers moving it down the field. And on third and short, a first down catch by John Taylor. By quarters, San Francisco had the lead after the first quarter. They played even through the first half, but here in the second half, it's pretty much been mostly 49ers.
It has, and the Rams really need to reverse that momentum that the 49ers have, and they need to reverse it now. I mean, it's now or never for them. It's the fourth quarter. It's crunch time.
They need a turnover. The Rams defense talked to us yesterday and said if we're going to win this game, we need to force turnovers. Waters on first down picked up 7, maybe 8.
You saw Pfeiffer and Newman hitting Ricky Waters on that play, and I'll tell you, when you hit the ball carrier as hard as they just did, that's the kind of thing that does force turnovers. Of course, Ricky Waters held on to the ball, but you know, that's what cost the 49ers the game last week, was turnovers. Watch him on this play. Waters gets it. Watch Pfeiffer, 58, hitting him, and then Newman coming in and helping out. The 1-2 punch. A lot of times the ball will come out when you throw that 1-2 punch.
Second down and 4. Flags fly before the play, and we may have had procedure against the 49ers.
You know, interesting you talk about this throwback weekend and Roman Pfeiffer, and we talked to him yesterday, and he told us that in fact his dad was a huge Ram fan.
False start. Offense number 67, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
His dad was a huge Ram fan, and he was in fact named after Roman Gabriel, the old Ram great.
Roman Pfeiffer was born in 1968, and that was one of Gabriel's better years. So his father called him Roman. What a great football name, Roman Pfeiffer, and he is active on the Rams defense.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he runs around the field, hitting people, covering people, forcing turnovers. You know, it's interesting, a guy who, you know, is a real physical specimen and a tough, hard-nosed player. You'd think he has all the confidence in the world, but he said he doesn't have that much confidence, but it's his dad who gives him confidence. His dad has always given him confidence by telling him, hey, you're good, you can play, you can do it. And he said that's the thing that's made the difference for him and enabled him to have a successful NFL career.
Roman Pfeiffer had a big game last weekend in Atlanta. We haven't called his name much here today. Played his college ball at UCLA. How ironic to be named after Roman Gabriel and get drafted and play for the Rams.
Yeah. Fate.
Second down and 9 for the 49ers. That last penalty was declined by the Rams. Logan. First down, San Francisco. The Rams elected to keep the prior play and not push the 49ers back. And on second and 9, Logan picks up the first down.
Yeah, and Logan did a nice job. You know, we talk about how good Roman Pfeiffer is, and he is, but Logan makes him miss on that last play. Logan catches the ball. Pfeiffer's coming up strong from the inside, gives him a little shake, and keeps going for the first down.
First down just inside the Ram 13. 49ers leading by 10, just over 13 minutes to play. Roll out for Young. Steve Young inside the 5 and a flag on the play.
I think they're going to get Marquez Pope for kicking there.
Steve Young gets up limping.
Well, I think you're going to see that Marquez Pope stuck his leg out there to stop Young, and maybe that's what caused the injury.
Tripping on the defense, number 22. Penalized half the distance to the goal line.
First and goal from inside the 3. And here's the penalty on Pope.
You see Big Derek Deese, number 63, out there, and he's blocking Pope, and Pope just has no, recourse but to try to stick his leg out. That's a dangerous play right there, because that's what gets people hurt. It's like a karate kick out there, and you can't do that. That's not part of the game of football.
So the first and goal for the 49ers from just outside the 1. 2 tight ends into the game, and Rice in motion. Jerry Rice, touchdown. Number 128 in his fantastic career.
Unbelievable. And how about how he got number 127, Joe? Steve Young told us yesterday that Young and Rice were out of the game. The record was standing there. They were cleanly beating the Raiders, but Seifert said, okay, I'll let you 2 guys go back in, and I'll give you 1 play to make the record. And they did it.
Monday night, first weekend of the season at home over the Raiders. Doug Bryan on for the extra point attempt. He's been perfect today. Another touchdown for Jerry Rice. He was in motion. He went into the end zone. The 49ers add to their lead. 17. Doug Bryan kicks it away. Into the end zone, a rare touchback this season in the NFL. David Lang let it go past him and into the end zone, so the Rams will take it at their 20.
On this play, you get to see 2 things: Jerry Rice's talent and Steve Young's toughness. Rice catching the ball and just getting it over into the end zone. Young, after he got kicked in the knee on the last play, in there, not taking himself out, rolling to the left, running on that sore knee, and completing the touchdown pass to Jerry Rice.
Chris Chandler comes into the game. We get word no injury involved to Miller, although he was roughed up earlier. Coach's decision to bring in Chandler. Miller still on the sidelines for the Rams, wearing a baseball cap and watching. Chandler complete to Hester. He loses the football, and the 49ers recover. Jesse Hester had the first down, but forgot the football.
Oh boy, that just hurts. That breaks the Rams' back. You have to wonder what Chuck Knox is doing with Chris Miller. Is he keeping him out of the game because he thinks the game is over and he wants to save him or protect him? Or is he keeping him out because he wants to replace him with Chris Chandler? Nice hit by the 49ers, Tim McDonald, forcing the fumble and really taking the game away from the Rams.
McDonald forced the fumble. Eric Davis with the recovery, and here comes Young and company back to the field. Steve Young, 28 out of 34 for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rice, great play by Todd Light. They thought they had another.
Boy, Steve Young says, I can't throw it any better than that. And Rice can't run the pattern any better than that. But Todd Light said, no one can defend it better than this. Watch.
All it took was to get the hand in there and get a little piece of the football. So close. Todd Light with great work on Jerry Rice.
Rice is a tough guy to run with.
So is Waters. Finally brought down by Newman. He picked up 8.
I'll tell you, Marquez Pope you know, may have hurt his own guy on that. You see Fred Stokes getting up a little slowly. Pope came up so hard and he hit, you know, he'll just hit anybody. Watch him come from the right here, and Stokes on the left right here, and watch this collision. Wow. Hits him hard in the side of the head, and that's the kind of thing that gives you those stingers, those burners that you hear so much about.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Waters on the delay and a first down. Now he fumbles. And the Rams recover. Kelly with the recovery on the fumble by Waters.
Well, George Dyer told us his defense had to come up with the turnovers, and here it is. Maybe too late in the game, though.
Gilbert and Stokes were there for the Rams.
See if we can see how this ball comes out of here. See if it's Pfeiffer reaching in or it's Gilbert. It's Stokes. Stokes reaches in and pops it out.
Joe Kelly then fell on it, and the Rams take it right back. 4 wide receivers and Chris Chandler still at quarterback. Bailey out of the backfield. We'll send you to our Hollywood studio. Here's James Brown.
Hey, Joe, at the Meadowlands, David Meggett has been a workhorse today. Here he goes across the 1-yard run. A second effort, that despite torn cartilage in his ribs. David Meggett helping the Giants out ahead 31-23 late in the 4th. Back to Joe.
You know, that's courage, Joe. Torn cartilage in the ribs is an extremely painful injury, and for him to be out there running and throwing the way he is a testament.
Playing in place of the injured Rodney Hampton. Chandler completes it to Hester, good for a first down.
You know, and Chris Chandler looking real sharp since he's been in the game, throwing the balls on the money, taking advantage of this opportunity. 3 for 3 and 23 yards.
An unrestricted free agent. Last year was with the Cardinals. In his career, he's also been with the Colts.
But
now with the Rams.
You know, Chris Miller started out the game 6 for 10, and he was doing pretty good with 74 yards and a touchdown. Then he got banged with his ribs, and his game went downhill from there.
Now it's Chandler in the game. The hard snap count and the flags. Chandler airs it out. Deion Sanders with the coverage, and a flag flies. 2 separate flags on the play, as Sanders was right there and had better position to catch that ball than Flipper Anderson.
Yeah, you have to wonder whether or not Chris Chandler throws that ball if he doesn't know he's got a free play. He drew the offsides. He knew he had the 5-yard penalty going for him, and then he put the ball up because if Deion intercepted, it would be called back anyway because of the offsides.
He took a shot, came up empty. The offside on the defense. That's declined. And they call pass interference on Deion Sanders.
Interference. Offside. Defense number 91 and 57. Those penalties were declined. Pass interference number 21. Accepted. First down.
Deion Sanders whistled for the foul.
Well, let's take a look at it at the top of the screen. I mean, maybe there was some truth to Flipper Anderson saying he's got the wheels to beat Deion. And there you see Deion reaching in with his left hand, and that's all it takes. The referees will call that.
So Chandler took the gamble after he drew the offsides, and it pays off. Inside the 40, 1st and 10. Bruce. Contact, but no flag. Eric Davis there on the coverage.
You know, on that last play, you talked earlier about Deion Sanders not having played football. You have to remember the last time Deion Sanders did play football, which was last year. He wasn't in training camp, no preseason, and this is the first game of the year. You know, the referees would allow that kind of contact that you saw on that play. They wouldn't have thrown the flag. Of course, they've changed the rules this year. They've tightened up their calls on the pass interference.
Four wideouts, and Bailey in the backfield with Chandler. Over the middle, Hester. First down right at the 20. Chris Chandler's father-in-law is John Brody, a San Francisco legend. And when Montana broke 49ers records, he broke records set by John Brody.
He's got to be pleased with the way his son-in-law has performed so far. I mean, Chandler looks excellent.
Hurry-up offense, incomplete. Throwing to the sideline for Bruce.
You know,
flag on the play because the defense didn't get set, and they had a man leaving the field just as Chandler snapped the ball on the quick huddle.
Yeah, and you know, Chandler really, even on that pass, had the ball on the money. Isaac Bruce slipped and didn't get himself back to the football. So Chandler's still looking sharp.
Foul on the play. The man running off of the field was the 11th man on the defense. Him plus the other 10 make it a legal play.
However, he was already in the backfield of the Rams when running off the field. That call could have gone against the 49ers. He ran off the field, but at that point he crossed the line of scrimmage. But the Rams don't get the call, and so it's 2nd and 10. Bailey brought down by Norton. It'll bring up a 3rd down as Bailey picked up 7.
How about the Rams offensive line? You got to hear them a little bit in there, battling away, keeping the 49ers defense out and giving Chandler the time to complete the pass.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Chandler's been hot. Still 4 wideouts in the game for the Rams. Niners show blitz, and they came too quick. Ricky Jackson a little anxious on the right side. See if he was drawn off.
Well, if he was, it was by the center, number 61, Bernd Brostek.
Ball start on this offensive team, number 61. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Just a little flinch, and that'll cost the Rams 5.
Yeah, watch him here. Watch him lift his legs just a little bit. And then Ricky Jackson, of course, sees that and comes off the edge.
He had a heck of a jump, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But, you know, that's great concentration by Ricky Jackson, looking for the just smallest movement and keying on it.
Charles Mann now in the game on the defensive line, and he bats it right back at Chandler.
Not only did he bat it back, he almost took Chandler's head off.
The Rams will send in the field goal unit, Charles Mann.
Watch him here, right around Ashmore with the rip, and then, boy, he gets that big arm up and whack right on the top of Chandler's head. And really, I mean, that had to hurt. Watch him here, rip up. That's vintage Charles Mann. It looks like he hasn't missed a step.
Right through Daryl Ashmore. 35-yard field goal try by Zendejas. Perfect. Tony Zendejas puts it through, and that closes down the game. San Francisco now leading by 14. New episode of the action adventure series Fortune Hunter tonight on Fox. Now that is a throwback outfit. Zendejas kicks it to Dexter Carter. Flags on the play. Carter slipped up just before he got to the 30.
Now, we have seen more flags on the kicking game today than I think I've ever seen in a football game.
Prior to this call, the 49ers, and this will also be against San Francisco, have been penalized for 132 yards.
On return, number 55, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Make it 142 yards in penalties, and that's the 3rd highest in team history. The highest in 71, 168 yards against St. Louis. The 2nd highest, 148 in 1958 against Philadelphia.
Boy, Rice and Taylor having another great day, Joe, against the Rams. When you talk about we love L.A., they must love L.A.
Reverse to Rice. Young throws a block, and Rice gets the first down.
You know, Steve Young not only throws a block, he throws a great block on Robert Young, but it may have cost him because he's limping out there. And, you know, I know Steve Young, boy, he's wincing too. But watch him here on the reverse, hands the ball off, and then gets himself out. Watch the block. Cuts Robert Young right down, just like an offensive guard.
It was fun to watch you and Steve Young get together yesterday and talk about it. You being a former defensive lineman, you were talking to him about how defenses just key up to try to lay on Steve Young and lay on a hit and take him out of the game.
Well, it's true. I mean, if you can take Steve Young out of the game, you shut down the 49ers. But, boy, it's awful tough to take him out of the game. I mean, you saw him last week getting hit time after time.
Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Ball start on the offense. What a day. You saw the numbers for Steve Young.
That's right. And like, as I said last week,
8 minutes and 3 seconds.
Getting hit before the play, getting hit even after the play. And today you've seen him get banged up a little bit. You saw him get kicked by Marquez Pope. You see him throwing a block and wincing a little bit. But, you know, the guy is still in the football game.
Time for Elvis.
Well, if I'm George Seifert, that's what I do.
Elvis Gerbach played his collegiate ball at Michigan in his second NFL season. He is the backup to Steve Young. 1st and 15 here for the 49ers. And Young hanging in there. They were a little cautious. The 49ers were heading into this game for obvious reasons with the banged up offensive line, but also because of all the hype that surrounded this team the first 2 weeks. The record by Rice broken in week 1. Then the matchup with Joe Montana and the Chiefs. Now they pick up Deion Sanders, but they're out in front here today, and they hand it to Waters.
Well, that's right. George Seifert told us that he had his team focusing in on the basics this week. He said, our guys have got to get back to basics. We've got to think about football. This isn't a big hype game like the last 2 weeks were for us, but it's a game that we can lose if we don't focus on our basics.
3 emotional weeks for George Seifert and the 49ers. Steve Young, I think, put it best when we asked him about the distraction of Deion Sanders coming. He said with everything that's preceded it, it was like, oh, hey, hi, Deion. How are you? Welcome.
And they did welcome him, too.
On 2nd and 13, Young. Jones dropped. Big hit over the middle, incomplete. Keith Lyle laid the stick on Brent Jones, incomplete pass.
Wow, and what a hit. I mean, you know, I said earlier, how do you defend against Brent Jones? He's always in the middle. Young always has the ball there. I guess this is the only way. Watch this hit. I mean, Jones catches it, the ball's there, and the hit is the only thing that can take it away. Right there, Keith Lyle.
He did not get both feet down before he lost control. An incomplete pass is the ruling. Keith Lyle, a rookie who played at Virginia.
You know, and they brought Keith Lyle here because they saw him in the Hula Bowl, and he was the defensive MVP again for his big hits. That's what they like.
The 49ers call a timeout. 3rd and 13 coming up. The Niners lead by 14. It's the throwback weekend, so to the sounds of 1 o'clock jump, the 1 o'clock finals. Tim Green.
Well, look at this right here, Joe. Buddy Ball having real problems. Arizona coming up with 0 points. And then up here, Buffalo getting their first win. Houston 0-3. Who'd have thunk?
Minnesota also having fun at Soldier Field with the Bears. 3rd and 13, and the Rams need a stop. Rice first down. Young had protection, and Rice has the first down just outside the Ram 36.
Boy, and watch Rice you know, it's not just the catch, it's what he does after the catch. And, you know, you see him running around, and you see Rams, you see 4 Rams jerseys just chasing him. Everybody's chasing him, and he's swiveling, he's cutting, he's moving, and, you know, I mean, he's got a crowd around him, but it takes him time to bring him down because he's so smooth and so elusive.
His 9th catch was good for 33 yards. He has 116 for the day. The 31-year-old and 10-year pro who played at Mississippi Valley State. Not much for Ricky Waters. Shane Conlon right there to meet him.
You know, interesting, Steve Young told us that Ricky Waters has kind of taken on a little bit of a leadership role without Tom Rathman in their backfield. And he said you can see it, it's most evident in the way he interacts with William Floyd, their rookie this year, the rookie fullback. And he said he has this mentor attitude towards Floyd, and it's really changed the way Ricky approaches the game. It's made him more of a professional.
But he then went on to say he's still flamboyant, and we still need that. We tend to get a little stodgy.
Well, that's right. They still like Ricky's attitude, and they like that the spice that he brings to that 49er offense.
Talk about spice. They got a whole spice rack with Deion Sanders. He adds a ton of spice. Waters picked up 3. It'll bring up 3rd down, and Rice checks back into the game.
Now, it's amazing that the 49ers just seem to thrive before the salary cap, and everyone said, well, the 49ers are going to have problems once they can have a cap on their spending. They've been the highest paid team for so many years, and, you know, along comes the salary cap, and they're still putting together a great team.
3rd and 6, Rice caught, 1st down at the 5. Todd Light with the coverage. Jerry Rice, his 10th catch of the day.
You know, and watch him leap here. This is what he's doing on this play. He's running, but he leaps up in the air. He out jumps Todd Light. He comes back to the ball and makes the catch.
Number 10 for number 80. Under 5 minutes to play. The 49ers leading by 14. They have a 1st and goal from just outside the 5. Waters. Not much.
You know, interesting story about Jerry Rice foregoing $170,000 in his playing incentives in order to fund 3 practice squad players, make room for them under the cap.
How rare is that in this day and age? That's different from readjusting to get under the salary cap. He gave up money to help fund the practice squad. He's having fun here today. Jerry Rice and the 49ers, they're about to move to 2-1.
That's right, and there he is talking to his new teammate, Deion Sanders, and those guys are having a smile and a laugh, and I'll bet you they're going to have a lot more before this year is out.
Steve Young, after being knocked around in Kansas City a week ago, has had the good protection from his offensive line, which has been patchwork, to say the least. You don't see Steve Wallace out there. Here in the second half, it's been mainly Frank Pollock. He joins Dalman, Oates, Deese, and Boatswain. But Young, what a day. 30 out of 38 for 353 yards.
And, you know, the difference between this week and last week really is turnovers, because Steve Young had a fine week last week against Kansas City. And, you know, the Rams have played a good game defensively. But Young is just, I mean, he's on. When he's on, he's on. Today, he's on.
Nearly an 80% completion rate today for Steve Young. 2nd and goal. Rice, Light, brought him down before he got into the end zone. He got 4, but Todd Light kept Rice from number 129. Good effort by Todd Light.
Well, yeah, and you know, at this point in the game, you're really playing for pride, because with the amount of time on the clock, the 49ers have got it wrapped up, and then Rice with a little acting job, acting like he's staying in. He pops out, and Rice is right there on top of him.
Todd Light played at Notre Dame in his 4th season. The best raw coverage guy in the secondary for the Rams. Now 3rd and goal. Young. No signal yet. Touchdown. The head linesman puts up the arms, and Young puts it into the end zone again.
You know, when they score a touchdown like that, Joe, there's 3 names you have to bring up. Chris Dahlman, the guard, Bart Oates, the center, and Derek Deese, the right guard, because when you score on a quarterback sneak, it's the push from those 3 guys inside that gets you over the goal line.
Doug Bryan in for the extra point. 33-13 San Francisco. Bryan will try to add the 34th point of the day for the 49ers. He does. 34-13 San Francisco. A wonderful day for Steve Young and the 49ers, about to move to 2-1.
If people have questions about the San Francisco offensive line, watch them here. Watch these guys work. Look at Bart Oates just struggling and pushing. Deese, Dahlman, freeing Young up for the touchdown. That's nice football.
Good effort by that offensive line, and remember, the defensive line for the Rams is the strongest area of their team. Brantley. Good work by Chris Brantley, gets it outside the 30. And with that, we send it back to our Hollywood studio and check in again with James Brown.
All right, Joe, trailing by 8 to the Giants in the closing seconds of regulation. Washington tries one last attempt. John Freeze looking for Desmond Howard, picked off by John Booty, and that effectively snuffed out their last shot. And the Giants go on to win it over Washington 31-23. Back to Anaheim and Joe.
Here it's the 49ers 34 and the Rams 13. Close through the first half. A 7-point game at the half. 49ers have pulled away here in the second half. Chandler still in there. Deion Sanders closed down on Flipper Anderson.
I think Mark Thomas drew a flag on that. I know he's anxious because he's in there and he wants to get the hit and a piece of Chris Chandler.
Deion's having fun.
Yeah, I tell you, Deion loves to win.
Defense number 72, roughing the passer. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Exactly right. They flag Mark Thomas.
Well, I saw him coming around the edge there, and you know, when you're a defensive lineman, you get in late in the game and you haven't had a lot of opportunity to play. You want to have an impact. You want to get after that quarterback. You want to get a sack, but you got to pull up after he gets rid of the ball.
First and 10 from the 45. Chandler. Jesse Hester, and another flag on the play. They might get Thomas again.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he hit Chandler low, and I guess maybe a little late. Ashmore looks like he got...
Number 72, roughing the passer. 15 yards, first down.
Again, roughing the passer on Mark Thomas.
You know, the officials are making a statement here. They're saying, hey, stay away from these quarterbacks. Watch it. The ball is gone. Boy, you know, that's real close. That's real close, but again, they're making a statement to Mark Thomas. They're saying, hey, stay off this guy, and Thomas doesn't like it. He says, hey, well, you know, I mean, I was right on top of him. I had my hands on him, and I pulled his legs out from under him. I didn't know whether he had the ball or not still.
Darrell Ashmore, the right tackle for the Rams, a bit banged up, limps off the field, and Jackie Slater back into the lineup at right tackle, number 78. That's 177 yards in penalties against the 49ers today. That sets a new team record. The 14th penalty ties a team record. Bailey forced out of bounds. by Kevin Mitchell.
You talk about two old pros working. You can watch on these pass plays. You watch 78 Jackie Slater, as old as a pro can get at 40 years old, working against Charles Mann. And, you know, he's given Charles Mann a little bit more difficult time than the younger Darrell Ashmore.
Second down for the Rams. They need 4 for a first down. Into the end zone, incomplete. Great coverage by Toy Cook. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. Under 3 to play, and the 49ers wrapping up their second victory of the year, but the Rams putting together a drive here at the tail end of the game. 3rd and 4. Complete to Bruce, and a first down for the Rams. Isaac Bruce, a rookie who played at Memphis State. Chandler has added to this Rams offense since he's joined this team after starting the game on the sideline.
Oh boy, I mean, he really looks sharp.
First down, incomplete. Deion Sanders all over Flipper Anderson. Tim Green, Deion Sanders gave up an awful lot of money with offers from other clubs to play with San Francisco because he wants a Super Bowl ring.
And you look at the difference here. I mean, look at that, the difference from that to that. $3 million a year, and you say, how can you pass that up? But Deion said to me, I want to dance the dance. I want to go to the Super Bowl. That means more to me than money.
2nd and goal. Great catch by Chris Brantley. A one-handed diving catch. Wonderful work by Brantley. We're at the 2-minute warning on a throwback weekend, and the 49ers trying to jump ahead to 2-1. The MetLife blimp Snoopy 2 is cruising above Anaheim Stadium to provide aerial coverage of today's Fox NFL Sunday football game featuring the 49ers and the Rams. We thank them for joining us here today, and we thank you for joining us. 2 minutes left in this one. They've provided beautiful shots. Steve Young has thrown beautiful shots today. A big day for him and the 49ers. The Rams with a 3rd and goal. Bettis. Touchdown. Jerome Bettis puts it into the end zone, and the Rams draw a little closer.
You know, Jerome Bettis likes to run the ball. He likes to score touchdowns. But you know as well as I do from talking with him that he likes to win. And when you're not winning the game, it takes the sweetness away from a score.
The 2-yard touchdown run, and Newberry was out in front.
Yeah, well, let's watch Tom Newberry doing what he does so well on the run play, running. He's a little light, 66 there, and, you know, making the block on Plummer. Plummer really giving him a nice hit in the process, but Newberry gets that big bulky body on top of him and does enough to keep Plummer out of the play and get Bettis into the end zone.
Chandler calls timeout. The Rams appear as if they're going to go for a 2-point conversion, and Chandler wants to talk it over. Today's game was produced by Mike Burks and directed by Joe Accetti on this throwback weekend. The studio is produced by Scott Akerson, there he is, with the headset, and directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
You think those guys had the hats today and those little pencil carriers in their pockets?
No. We went to extremes to help bring you back to the 1950s. However, this time, with the 49ers and Rams getting together, it was a golden age for the Rams in the 50s. The 49ers are actually wearing uniforms from 1955 and that era today. 1955, ironically, was the second worst season in their franchise history. But it doesn't look like that here today. Chandler going for two. He hits Drayton, and it goes right through his arms.
You know, the 49ers and this whole Deion Sanders deal really tells you that they are going for broke this season. They're putting all their money on the line, and they're banking on going to the Super Bowl and winning it this year.
They brought in the veterans on defense. They've added a guy like Deion Sanders, and I want to make one more point with you, Tim Green. You played with Deion Sanders in Atlanta. You also wrote an article that talked about the two faces of a Deion Sanders, the public perception, and what he gives you as a teammate.
That's right, and those two personalities couldn't be further from each other, because oftentimes in the public, you know, I mean, you hear people talk about, and some people say, like Dick Schaap, Deion's a rude guy, he's not a professional. I'll tell you, Deion Sanders as a teammate is one of the nicest guys. He's calm. He's a team player. He works hard in practice. And to a man, if you talk to people that play the game with him and don't have their own media agenda, they will say that Deion Sanders is not only a fine football player, but a fine person.
Well, we had a shot of Steve Young. It might surprise some people to learn that Steve Young told us yesterday he was thrilled because he had a chance to play with Deion Sanders in a Pro Bowl. And in that one game, he realized that when it comes time to play, and it's a cliche, but he is ready to play, and he will do anything to win.
Well, he is. I mean, he's a team player, and he doesn't have that image, and it's wrong that he doesn't.
Onside kick attempt here for the Rams. They line up strong to the left, and Zendejas gives it a try. Well covered by McCaffrey. One of the backup wide receivers smothered it. And the onside kick attempt by the Rams is no good, and that's where the 49ers will take over.
You know, you talk about Steve Young and how tough he is. Look at him around there hobbling around. I mean, he's look at him right there. He's got dirt on him. He's got some, you know, it looks like blood coming out of there, and he's got the bad knee over there. He's got the pad pulled up. It's hurting him. You know, you see him walking around aching. He told us yesterday, he said, I shouldn't be this sore this early in the season.
Elvis Gerbach in at quarterback for the 49ers. He hands to Derek LaVille. The defense today for the 49ers was strong. Able to corral Jerome Bettis, not in the first half, but we didn't call his name too often here in the second half. One of the reasons, obviously, the Rams had to put it up to jump back in the game, but the defense really stiffened for the 49ers.
Well, that's right. The Rams had to put the ball in the air. And, you know, I think that the biggest defensive play we saw by the 49ers may have been Dana Stubblefield putting that big hit on Chris Miller, because after he did, and you saw Chris Miller get up slowly, and you saw him holding those ribs that we know he's got some bad ribs, and then after that, Chris's efficiency really dropped off, and that kind of took the Rams out of the game. So when you talk about a big defensive play, it may not have seemed like that big of a play at the time, but Stubblefield may have been able to put the hurt on Chris Miller and taking him out of the game.
The Rams have no timeouts remaining. They send McCaffrey in motion, and on second down, they hand the ball off, and a first down picked up by LaVille.
Wait, a nice lead block on that play by William Floyd, number 40, the fullback for the 49ers. I mean, he just got out in front there and gave a real knockout punch, and that's what he says he wants to do as a running back, as a fullback in the NFL. Now, let's take a look at that play where Chris Miller gets shaken up. And watch Stubblefield here. Hits him hard high, wraps him up, and then you see him throw his body into him and come down hard on Chris Miller. And watch Chris Miller right here. You see him reach with his left hand for his ribs? I mean, that hurt him. You know, he took some shots last week on his ribs, and I know Chris Miller, and I've played with Chris Miller. I was with him when he went to the Pro Bowl, and I'm telling you that if he's not up to par, if he's not playing great football, it's because he's hurt.
About one more snap left in this game. This will be the last snap as Gerbach will take a knee, and this game will end 34-19 San Francisco.
Well, I'll tell you, a great day for the 49ers in that their offensive line really stood up to the test. They proved themselves. Everyone was worried all week long about them being backups. They gave Young protection, and Young delivered.
George Seifert, after an emotional week last weekend, the emotional week with picking up Deion Sanders, the 49ers stepped it up this week, and they defeat the Rams here in Anaheim, the final 34-19. We'll come back and wrap it up right after this.
A new technology.
Time travel.
For Tim Green, this is Joe Buck saying so long from Anaheim Stadium, where the final score is San Francisco 34 and the Rams 19. A big day for Steve Young and the 49ers. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League. For Tim, this is Joe Buck. Good evening, everyone.